No. Hello, everybody. It makes us look like we were having a full-on conversation when we were live.
We should have carried it through.
It builds that illusion of casualness, and I'm
Yeah,
not sure
which
what
we've
the
completely
adjective
destroyed
is.
by explaining.
Yeah, you know when they come, when they like flash over to the news anchor and they're just like casually chatting it up, and then, oh, hello, America, I didn't see you there.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I don't know, some people appreciate the fourth wall breaking, so we've appealed to those fans.
Yeah.
That fan. Hey, you.
It's
We're
Noof.
thinking-
Hi, Noof.
We're thinking about you. Okay.
We've been thinking about you. Ooh, na na na.
Guaranteed, Alaric always sings in every session.
Always.
No matter what game we're playing, he sings.
So how does the overlay look, guys?
It seems to be working pretty well.
It looks superb to me.
Okay, I kind of just, like I said, I just barely threw it together, just really quick. I'll pretty it up a little bit.
As I mute myself while I'm talking, it looks like, well, now I'm on an advertisement, but what I saw looked adorable.
Okay.
Someday when we're brave, we should put our faces on it.
Yeah.
Someday when we're brave, we'll be
Oh,
on video.
Someday, when we're brave, we'll put our faces on it. Or other people's faces.
Okay, now I got why that was weird.
Well, when you say it in that voice,
I was like, I don't get why Ryan's repeating me right now.
Okay,
Faces mostly come out at night.
so we're missing Kaylee
Mostly.
temporarily. To any of our viewers who are watching, you may notice slight difference. I, Corin, am having some technical issues on my end, so I'm playing from the streaming computer, hence the little purple ping and not my usual icon or placement. So yeah, shouldn't be any changes on your end, just in case you're like, what's going on?
Oh.
What's going on?
Also,
What's going on?
if you kick someone and then re-add them to the game, it moves them in the seating order confirmed. So,
Yep.
Nessa, welcome to the entire group on this side
Thanks, I feel like less isolated.
of the stream. Yes.
I feel part of the group now.
you're on the right side of the stream now. Or I
Technically
guess
left.
it's the left. Fine, take my joke.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Cut me off.
I should have waited.
Alright.
Okay, we have a Kaylee back.
Kaylee is back. She's not talking though, so.
No, I'm talking, I'm here.
Okay.
Sorry, I tried to switch computers, then I realized that I still haven't figured out the out sound for the, because I'm in the recording studio,
Oh, fancy.
and I know, and so I have to set up all this outboard gear for me to speak into the computer, and I was like, oh wait, no, fuck that, go back.
Okay, so did anyone want to give us a recap of last session for all of our people watching, and mostly for me because I can't remember anything session to session. That's not true. That's
I literally
mostly a lie.
just watched it. But
Does someone want to read off Skyla's wonderful summary she posted in the session notes thingy? I would
mean,
pull
I
them
can
up,
read
but
it
then
if-
they could see it directly.
I volunteer Skyla for that.
I can read it. I don't think I've done a recap in a while.
The bullet note recaps are my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I'm going. That's where we're going.
In Skylar's voice.
Oh gosh. Gotta go up an octave. Okay. So last session, so we went into this room and there was this really big icy guy and all these other people. So then we killed the big icy guy and there was all these people on the ground and they looked like they were hurt or dying. And there was this one girl, she was really pretty, but she was standing up and she didn't look as bad as other people. So then we helped them and the other people get out of the room because that room was really yucky and cold and they'd been there a really long time, you guys. So then we went upstairs and I think her name's Nessa. She told us that someone stole her food, and Kaylee was like, ooh, sorry, because she totally took her food, because she gave it all to the weird troll guy outside. So then, we went downstairs, I think, to where the portal was, and we saw these cute little baby dragons, but then we killed them all, because I guess they're bad. And then we met this really big icy guy, and he was kind of scary, and he had all these other icy guys with him, and Kaylee did a lot of talking. And she, I guess, made a deal. She got me this really cool arrow. And she told me I could not miss, which was really scary. So then we went, I think it was upstairs, maybe it was downstairs some more. I don't really know. I just followed everyone around the stairs, and there was like this knocking on the door, but it was really loud, and everyone said it was magical, so I believed them. So we go in, and there's an elf, and I guess his name is Tundrick. So he was kind of mean, so we started hitting him and fighting, and I shot my arrow, and I got him, and it was awesome. And Alaric grabbed him, and Corin grabbed the necklace, and the elf turned into a dragon, you guys. I didn't even know that could happen. So then the dragon breathed on all of us, and I passed out. And then after that, I guess he died. That's what happened last session.
That was hands down one of my favorite.
Especially, I blacked out and then he was dead.
Yeah, you know what?
I was passed out. I don't know
I
what
think we're
happened.
good. I don't think we need to clarify that. I think. Yeah. So does anyone want to add to that?
Well, after Skyla passed out, Alaric was a bamf, and then
Yep.
the dragon died.
Yeah, we have to clarify that
Oh
for
man,
the
I missed
viewers.
that.
That's right. Alaric, Alaric came from downtown and dunked on the dragon's head, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so that brings us up to speed on that. So where we last left off, you guys were literally standing over... Oh no, you had left the dragon's area in front of the vault and gone back downstairs to finish up the deal with the frost giant, seal the portal, and that's where we ended the session.
Mm-hmm.
So you all are now currently downstairs, and let me just make sure I'm going to the right page here. Yep. And this is where we left off.
Yep.
Yeah, that looks familiar.
All right.
Well, shall we go check on the others, make sure they're alright? Now that we've turned off this ice portal, it should start heating up a bit in here.
Oh, absolutely. They need to know that it's all over. Cool. Peace.
Oh, hello, Marcus and Oren. You've been quite
Sorry,
quiet.
sorry,
I think I
sorry.
accidentally moved Kaylee, sorry.
Sorry, excuse me, sorry, excuse me.
Oh, I guess we're saying excuse me, sorry, excuse me.
Nessa said no excuses me's.
I don't know what excuse me means, but excuse me.
What?
Excuse me, sorry.
You're
You
muted,
guys are
Ripple.
essentially... am I now?
No, you're
Hello?
good now.
Okay. So essentially you guys are heading back upstairs to check on everyone, or where are you going exactly?
Yeah,
to
Upstairs.
Daiichi and then rest.
Okay, so you're gonna go and see Daiichi, and I'm just gonna bring you guys over to this for the splash screen while we do that. You guys, again, now that the portal's closed, you've almost immediately, felt a bit of a warming in the air. It's still cold. There's still ice everywhere. There's still no actual heat source in the entire monastery at this point in time, but it's definitely a big change from what it was just a few moments ago before the portal had actually closed. You guys make your way back upstairs. The top rooms of the monastery, the guest rooms, one that Nessa had been staying in for some time, and the other one that the Seeker had been staying in, are a lot warmer than most of the rest of the place. They seem to have suffered the least amount of, the effects of the ice portal. You go inside, you find the survivors pretty much how you guys had left them. Daiichi is still laid out on the bed. He's sound asleep at this point in time. The others are kind of tending to themselves and just breathing a bit of fresh air, not being trapped in the supply closet essentially for months on end. They're now feeling a bit of that burden lifted up off them. You can tell they're mulling around a little bit. They're talking a little bit more amongst themselves. As you come in, they all still kind of look up with that terrified look on their face. And you guys enter the room, pushing in one at a time.
I'm gonna burst in as soon as possible.
Okay.
And just, it's over. It's all over.
You see this kind of wave of relief just fall over its shoulders, kind of that have been tensed for months slump. A few unseen smiles kind of break through this kind of bleak face. You definitely notice in these survivors that there's just those words, especially coming from someone they had spent so much time with, immediately kind of just chip away at that shroud hanging over them. And they're definitely just drained and trodden down, but their spirits are lifted.
I'm gonna go to everyone and like hug them all,
Okay.
and definitely not tear up at all.
Seeing Nessa hug everyone's, I'm just gonna go over and start hugging people too, because I feel like that's what everyone is gonna do. So I'm just like, oh, hug for you too. Hey, glad you're feeling okay.
Also, did we ever start that fire from that pallet we brought up and broke down?
I don't
We
think
did
so.
before we left.
Oh.
We did that before we left, yes.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
So there is a small fire burning in the corner. It's a little smoky, pooling up at the top of the room because there's no actual outlet for any of the smoke in here. But you guys have kept it roughly small. As Skyla begins going around, first, Nessa starts going around and they hug and embrace you. They've spent a lot of time with you. As Skyla begins going around, one or two of them feel a little reserved, but as you begin hugging, they almost immediately begin rushing over to the group of you and hugging each of you in turn and just thanking you over and over and over again for freeing them.
Aww.
A couple of them, there's an older lady especially who is just on the verge of tears, breaking down. She's having a hard time with this and just ever grateful.
I'm watching this smiling to see how the half-steps respond. And also kind of awkwardly.
Skylar just keeps hugging people, like, just over and over. Like, she's hugged the same person a couple times now. Like, the crying lady, she, like, pats her on the head while she hugs her.
If anyone is still needing aid, I can help tend to the wounded some, and after a rest I can do more to aid you and get you back on your feet.
There aren't kids in here, right?
No, actually, most of the people that are in there are elderly. There's one man who looks basically in like middle age. He looks to be physically fit, but he's one that actually needed a lot of help up the stairs. It seems that his leg has suffered a lot of damage, and while it has been healed, it doesn't actually look like there's any physical damage anymore. It looks like it is irreparably crippled at this point. But for the most part, they're elder, various races, a few humans, a couple elves, that type of thing.
Would you consider them technically taking a rest, a short rest?
Yeah.
Can I give them a song of rest and heal everybody 1d6?
Go ahead and make a
Performance check?
medicine check.
Damn it.
Is there anyone that looks like especially...
First roll.
A 1. Okay,
bad.
glancing around, you notice that for the most part, they look to be, you're not necessarily overly skilled in healing or medicine. You know enough to help out the party and things of that nature, but it's definitely not your focus. And looking around at the survivors, you notice that they look a little bit skinny. It looks like they've been fed the bare minimum over the past few months. And the way that you saw them eat the rations and drink the water that they were given, you know that they were given enough to get by, but not enough to really, be comfortable on. But as you're looking them over physically, they don't seem to be any physical pain. A lot of it just seems to be more kind of that emotional burden of what they've just gone through. You see a couple scars and some things that look like fresh wounds that have been healed up in a similar fashion to the healing magic that you or Corin or Alaric can administer.
Well, I don't have any rations, so...
You guys have already fed them all.
Yep.
Oh, well, I'm just saying, they look
But aren't they
really...
still hungry? Kaylee!
What?
Should I go try and get some food?
That's a really good idea, Skyla. I would come and help you, but I know that you need absolutely no help. I mean, I'll help you for flavor. Let's go look for food, Skyla.
Well, I was gonna go outside where it's kind of cold.
I have a coat.
Okay. Oh, I have this wolf pelt that you could borrow.
Oh, thank you.
And we could try to find some little animals to cook on this little fire.
I'm sorry, is this a fresh wolf pelt?
Yeah, I just handed you a fresh wolf pelt. It's not
I
gonna
say,
be long,
oh,
so.
thank you. And I, who'd I look at? I'd look at Corin, and like hand it to him. Like, take this. Maybe you can use it back. I don't know. Take it.
I'd take it and I'd drape it around my shoulders.
There you go.
I would like to prestidigitate it first.
Because I've got winterwear, so yeah, I go help Skyla at least carry in, so she can carry more supplies in than she normally could.
Okay, you guys are currently, like, in the middle of the monastery, up the side of a mountain. Where did you want to go to try and find some food?
Skyla?
I would think probably down by the river that we passed, because it's a water source that animals are going to go to.
How many hours away is that?
Is there a storeroom that you all haven't been able to access in a while before we go outside?
Well, Alec, you don't have to go outside. I can go by myself.
No, I think you should. You should go and play. I think that'd be good for
Alec, this is serious business. I'm not playing.
Got shady in here. I don't know about you guys, but it got a little chillier.
It's still going to take some time to warm up, Kaylee.
I guess that's
So-
true.
Anyone remember how long it took us to get from the river to here?
Let me see if I remember.
you. Like 3 or
Stares
4
at the
hours
GM.
or so.
So you guys know that traveling up the mountain from the docks to the entrance of the monastery took you the better part of a day, and the river was roughly the halfway to 3/4 mark. So you figure it'd probably take you a few hours there and a few hours back.
What time of day is it? Did we already ask that?
So you guys rested in the
trial room.
in the trials. Then you came in, and I would say that all in all, inside the monastery, it's been maybe like it's probably roughly about noon.
So Skyla might be able to get back by like the nighttime.
Yeah, if she hurried,
And
I
if
can
I
run real fast, you guys.
she would actually move faster alone than with
without me.
anyone else.
Okay,
Also,
I
I can levitate.
also
Ooh,
that's true. We had to cross that one river with like tricks. Great, Skyla. I think you've got this, my friend.
I do got this. I'll be
Uh,
back when I'm back.
Sounds great. If you're not back by like nightfall, though, we're gonna come look for you.
Okay. If I'm in trouble, I'll scream real loud.
I think that will work.
Okay. All
Okay.
right, bye.
Bye.
How do you want to? Which direction do you want to take? You guys are currently upstairs above the entranceway to the where you guys came in from the trials into the monastery.
Kaylee,
Mm-hmm.
could you maybe walk me to the door? Because I don't remember where it is.
Yeah. Can I do? I do that. I help her find the door out.
Which door do you guys want to
The
go?
one we came
The main
in?
entrance, the only entrance that we use to get into the monastery.
The one from the trials?
Yes.
Through the flaming hallway.
Is it still
Oh.
flaming?
Let's see here.
After we'd passed all the trials and got to all up in here, it's still flaming.
Well, because remember, we got fire immunity, which is what let us pass through the flaming hallway.
Yeah.
How long is that good for? We don't know.
He said 24 hours. It's
Oh.
probably still active, but
It might not be active by the time Scott has to get back.
Yeah.
Let's go talk to Tahichi first and see if he can like get us out of here.
and
So you guys are in the room with Tahichi.
But he's sleeping.
He's sleeping.
Oh my gosh.
I would like creeped over and kind of decided if it was okay to wake him up, and then I just am like really gently like shaking him, tapping him awake.
He doesn't seem responsive at this point in time. He's breathing. He's, definitely resting, but he doesn't seem to really respond to kind of just like gently nudging him awake.
All right,
Alright,
let's
I'm
let him
gonna leave him.
sleep.
Yeah.
Let's let him sleep.
Let him rest.
I guess for now, let's have the rest of us. We fed everybody. Let's have the rest of us look over the rest of the temple, make sure there's no more baddies, make sure we see where maybe Frostgorge was sleeping, and in the morning we can see if Tahichi's feeling better.
Okay, I guess I'll go hunt tomorrow.
That's probably a good idea, Skylar.
So feeling sad that I can't go get anything, I'm going to dump all the rations I have in my bag, which is 14 rations,
Good God.
and just dump them on the floor. Like, I hope this helps until then, at least.
I'm sure it will, Skylar.
Well,
Okay. You see a couple people kind of come over and grab a ration or two, and then they kind of gather the rest of them up and stack them on one of the tables that are in there.
Shall we explore the rest of the temple? Nyasa, do you, Alaric had asked, but are there any areas that you were confined to one room? Let's go look at all the other rooms.
Yeah, let's go look.
Okay. Where did you guys want to start at?
I don't know what the, makeup of the temple is, but,
You guys have seen the basement floor that has the portal room and all the workshops. And then you guys traveled up the stairs into the main hallway, or the main hall basically, with the armory at the end of it. And then you know that Nessa had said that there is another floor above that as well.
Should we go back to the basement and give it a good check and just work our way up?
yes,
I'd
I
like
think
to
that
see
would be
some of the
most
workshops.
efficient.
Okay. All right, so everyone's heading down?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Let's just go here.
Okay. So. That
Okay.
is the-
And I know, did we briefly check these rooms already? I know we got through this really quick.
We did. We kind of blasted through.
You kind of poked your head in most of the rooms down here.
Just make sure no one would jump out at us.
Yeah.
I'd like to check the food room.
The food room.
So
I'd also
I-
like to light a torch.
Okay. Torch. That would be.
That's not the food room, is it? Where freaking is the food room?
Skylar wants to explore the room she's in.
Okay, the room that Skyla's currently in looks vaguely familiar. It looks like it's already been gone through by Skyla.
Where would I start? Maybe in all the places that look like they've been rummaged
Hey,
through.
this looks really familiar. Wait, what was in this room?
It had
Potions.
potions
Potion
and
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, you'd found a couple potions and then a book and some. You found a recipe as well.
I think that might have been me and Kaylee.
Because I was in the room with all the weapons.
Yeah, that was me and Kaylee who did
Yeah,
that.
Oh,
I got a herbalism book.
Okay, so I don't know anything about this room.
Okay, so you go into this room. It looks like it's been recently rummaged through. You find a lot of different dried herbs and things organized in the corner on the two separate tables there. Then the desk that's next to it has a lot of mortar and pestles and kind of alchemical supplies. There's a bookshelf next to that has a lot of various kind of textbook style books that all relate to herbology and medicinal uses of plants of various natures.
Well, Skyla's into herbalism. So if there's anything that she might recognize that she could take a little bit of, she doesn't want to deplete their stockpile, but a little pinch or two of something she might recognize.
Okay, is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
Probably. Okay, she would like to find something that could help her make a salve that could heal maybe, but also she's seen Alec's very unruly beard and would like to find something a little on the waxy side that might help tame that.
Okay, are you proficient in herbology or anything of that nature?
Herbalism kit.
Okay, go ahead and give me a nature check.
Oh, I'm good at that one. Oh, I'm not good at that one. Welp.
Okay. Going over it, you do know that there are certain herbs that have healing properties, and as you go over, you can see that there are a couple areas that look like they have some remnants of these types of herbs or plants. But it looks like whatever was there was actually kind of cleared out recently. As for something that's just roughly waxy that you might be able to use for something like a beard balm or things of that nature, you don't actually find anything that really will suit the purpose without also maybe having a side effect that you don't want.
Okay.
But you do find a couple things that are waxy that might have a side effect.
Oh, well, I want those.
There's a couple berries that are a very, very, very dark blue pigment.
Dark blue berries.
Yep. You know that they're not fit to eat, but they do get used in various other mixtures as like a binding agent.
Ew. Okay. How many are there?
You find a handful, so roughly about like, let's say like 7.
Okay, so she's only going to take 2.
Okay.
And that's it for there, I guess.
Okay. We'll go down the line. Alark, what do you want to do? Alark.
Be muted.
Oh my gosh, he went to the bathroom again, didn't he?
No, I'm muted.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just staring at the portal, kind of in a daze.
Okay, the area where you're staring at, the portal, is actually completely closed, and all that's there is locked in place is the portal beacon, just kind of like hanging there, stuck in place, like it was in the swamps when you guys closed the other portal. Okay, if that's all you want to do, we'll move down to Kaylee.
I guess I'll start in this room. I just look and find what I can. This looks like it might be a book.
Yeah, going over, you find that most of the crates and barrels have been torn open, gone through, rummaged, and kind of like you have some of the flour and things that were down there, the contents are spilled across the floor. There's a couple that had like dried provisions. Most of the dried provisions are missing. You find what amounts to basically 1 ration throughout all of the bags that you managed to rummage through.
Excellent.
And then you find a barrel that looks like it has fresh water in it that's got about a foot of ice, just solid ice on the top of it, frozen through. And the rest of the water, I mean, the water seems fresh and drinkable. It's completely solid and frozen on the top.
I'm gonna pull out Donovan's flute and start thawing off this water, so we at least have something to kind of drink.
Okay, so while you're doing that, we'll go on to Nessa. What did you want to do?
Is this where I'm standing? Is this a vent, or is this like the food growing place?
That, you know, is the garden. You had been in there before the attack, and that's where they grew most of their herbs and their fresh fruits and vegetables for the monastery, basically. Looking at it, the door is almost completely caked over in ice, like someone had sealed it shut. Now, having the temple, as it's starting to kind of just like warm up, the ambient temperatures rising because the portal's closed, you're noticing that around the edges of the door, the ice is starting to melt away a little bit.
Alright. So would it be a long shot to try and bust it open?
You are more than welcome to try.
Cool! I would like to kick it, first of all.
Go ahead and give me a just a strength ability check.
Not athletics.
Make a persuasion roll, and you can use athletics. Go ahead.
Yes! Watch it be like a 1 still. Sweet.
Double digit. Nice.
So as you place a solid kick on this door, the entire door shunts in the door frame. The ice kind of cracks and breaks away. the areas that were already melted and weakening it away from the door frame easily give way, and the door kind of swings open inward. As the door swings open, a bright light kind of floods out into the hallway from where you're looking at the room, and this very, very warm, humid type of air washes over you. And then I will open the door.
Sweet! I sigh happily and turn to look at Corin like, yay! With a big old grin, and then I go in.
I give her a thumbs up and follow her in.
And I'm gonna look through all of the foodstuffs and see if any. I know it's been like 5 months, so stuff's probably overgrown and stuff. But I'm looking for anything that I could take back and feed people.
And I will
Okay.
assist her with that.
One thing that you notice walking in the room, Nessa, you already kind of got the story of this from just your time here before you were before the attack. You know that this room is actually enchanted. You were basically kind of told that the monastery was built with the help of other people, druids, dwarven smiths, elves. Basically, a lot of people from different walks of life came together to help build this monastery many centuries ago. This room in particular was helped with the magic of the druids to enchant it to enable them to grow their own food and to ensure that the food survives. So coming into this room, as you said, it has been unkempt for about 5 months, so everything is kind of just overflowing with growth at this point in time.
Like good growth or bad growth?
Good growth. There's an abundance of fruits and vegetables growing on the various plants that are in here. The ceiling has this fixture kind of embedded in it, similar to the other lighting fixtures in the monastery, but this one is producing a much warmer, much hotter light. There's kind of like a flowing fountain in the back side of the room here. There's different flower pots or flower troughs that have different types of herbs and things of that nature growing in it. Is there anything in particular you guys wanted to go over?
I'm just literally gonna go through the plant beds and look for carryable foods to the upstairs.
Okay, you guys, between the two of you, literally arms kind of overflowing with fresh fruits and vegetables at this point in time. There's enough in here on fruits and vegetables alone to probably sustain at least the survivors for some time.
Sweet. I'm satisfied. My work here is done.
Okay. And that will bring us to Corin. Did you want to do anything?
I've just been helping Nessa with the harvesting of the foodstuffs.
I appreciate it, bro.
All right. While everyone's doing that, Skyla finishing up, looking over the area in there. Is there anything else in particular you wanted to do?
Skyla? Me?
Yes.
I would have probably made my way over to this room because I saw shiny things on the table, and I would like to look around here.
Okay. I know that one of you, I'm not exactly sure which, had kind of poked their head in here. This, at like first glance, you can just tell is or was the blacksmith area. It looks like the forge is tied into the vent heating system as it's completely iced over, and there seems to be that kind of frost that was pouring out of it. It's a lot warmer in here now than it probably was a few minutes ago again, or actually at this point in time, probably a little over an hour or so ago. Looking around, you see a lot of hand tools in various states of repair. It looks like mostly the blacksmith here worked on keeping the tools that they use around the monastery in working order. You also see quite a few basic weapons in various states of completion, a few knives that don't have the handles put on them. You see like a completed short sword that looks like it was just sharpened. There's a couple of metal shields kind of like tucked underneath the bench that's having their banding around the outside put back on. One of them has like a busted handle on the back. Kind of sticking halfway out of the forge at this point in time, there's a set of armor that looks like a set of half-plate armor that's being repaired at this point in time. Various pieces of it are kind of leaned up on different benches around the shop.
Okay, so I'm going to gather those up and bring them out, like, to this area.
Okay, so you have a set of damaged half-plate armor with you? as you come kind of like dragging it out and clanging around and scraping it along the floor. Very, very heavy.
Okay. Ugh.
I raise my eyebrows at it. That's all.
Okay.
I'm just like, cool, Skylar.
It's
Dragging me.
it's nothing you recognize. As you remember, you were in your armor in training when the attack hit.
Right.
So
It's weird
yeah.
that she went in and pulled out armor to me.
I'm just bringing it to the central area.
Okay.
and Alark?
Alara can't see anything.
No.
No. Go to Slack.
Oh, did I miss it?
No, look at his view.
Oh, that's really weird.
Is it just that map, or has it been the other things too?
Well, the splash was. Am I muted?
No, you're
No.
Okay. Well, the splash was kind of blinking in and out, and it would sometimes be there and sometimes not.
The what?
The splash image.
good. Yeah, the monastery image.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, his actual like map is messed up. Well, geez, I don't know.
It's fine. I'm watching on the stream.
Okay. I'm just like moving you around then.
Okay,
Is there
cool.
anything on the stream or from what you remember that you want to check?
Nothing until we get back to the dragon. No.
Okay. We'll move on to Kaylee. At this point in time, you've melted away this section of the barrel, clearing down to the fresh water underneath and kind of picking up some on your fingers and smelling it and tasting it. It's definitely clean and drinkable.
Cool. After doing at least one of them, then we have something to drink. So I stop playing my flute at the water, and I come out and I yell, "Guys, there's fresh water in here for everybody!" And then I come over here and check this room, unless someone's already done that.
Yeah, you heard very
Just kidding.
audibly Skyla dragging things out of that room. Not only a few seconds ago.
Are there any other rooms that haven't been checked yet? Guys?
No. Well, I just
No
went
one's
in the
really
food
checked
place.
the room up and to the right.
I'll do it!
I think it's the carpentry place.
And I just go running.
Okay,
I'm gonna check the room!
I'm just gonna stand here holding this armful of peaches and crap.
There's water in the other room! What's in
Okay.
here?
So as you go into this room again, it's very. It's a workshop. You can tell that they work on mostly things for around the monastery itself. There's a couple of the chairs from various rooms that are brought down here, having the legs repaired on them. There's some raw lumber up against the wall. There's a couple various hand tools used for working wood, things of that nature. It looks like a ladder that's partially finished is leaned up against the wall as well.
But the ladder doesn't lead anywhere.
No, it's literally a ladder that someone has made or is repairing and is just leaned it against the wall.
Oh. I just yell out, "Okay, this room's really boring. I think we're done."
Cool.
Does anyone else want to do anything?
Looking at this armor in the middle of the room, because Kaylee's so smart, I'm gonna turn to Kaylee and just be like, "Kaylee, do you know what kind of armor this is?"
I take a look at it and I say, "It is broken.
That's half
Oh.
like
It's also half plate
Plate? Why isn't it a full plate?
because
you
it
can
doesn't cover the whole body." Right? That's
No,
what
I
half
think-
plate is?
nodding. Well, it's got
Okay.
like the connecting pieces that are not so clanky.
Connecty.
Oh. Well, I found this over there, and I don't know if it fits someone, but this
We're
is.
gonna take it from the monastery, even though it's the monastery's property.
Oh.
Just
Well-
curious.
We'll ask first.
Yeah, that. What Corin said.
Hmm?
Alright.
Looking really shifty eyes. She didn't. I didn't know. Sorry.
No, Nessa's actually smiling while she says this. Like, she's actually in like a super good mood.
Oh, well, in that case, well, I mean, we could ask, but I mean, I feel like we really helped out, and this broken armor might not really be missed that much.
There
I mean, I don't know
probably
who's
won't be
left who can-
objections, but we
But
should ask
We'll
first.
ask, yes. We'll ask, because
I don't know
Coco
who's
said
left
so,
who can
and
actually
it's
work on it, but I mean, I could fix it probably, but I don't
fine.
know
You
if
can
you.
fix it?
I have had a bit of smithing experience in my life.
That's so cool.
Oh, well, thanks. Bashfully.
So, looking at the armor, a couple of the plates look like they were probably damaged in training. Nessa, first-hand experience, you know that the monks train very full contact.
Mhm.
Some of the straps on the side are broken. The leather on the legs needs to be patched up. And if anyone were to actually want to use the armor, it would need to be sized up to them. So it would need to be repaired and then refitted to someone that can wear medium armor. And just so everyone knows, when it's finished, it would be medium armor, and it does appear to be very noisy as well. So,
And I assume it has metal,
yes, it does have metal.
so Corin doesn't care for it.
Skylar doesn't either.
He turns up his nose.
But also, I don't think Skylar can wear medium.
I heft up the fruit in my arm some more, like, we're gonna stand here?
You want some help?
Oh, that would be great, yeah.
Okay.
Also,
Dumps.
dumps. Also, Alaric, if you and maybe Corin want to grab some of these water barrels, they might be helpful for the rest of the survivors. Maybe, guys, fellas, bros.
The water barrels are very, very, very full.
No, yeah, I mean like
Well,
together.
we have those thingies that holds our water. Couldn't we fill them and then bring them up? And then when they're empty, we know where the water is.
Yes, but it might also be easier just for when people are thirsty, send them down to get the water. We can probably
just
work
know
it
it's
together,
here.
move it out into the hallway to make it easier, but carrying a full water barrel up the stairs is going to be quite
I don't
challenging.
want-
Corin, all you have to say is that it's too heavy for you,
Wait,
and I would
guys.
understand.
Guys,
Yes, Skyla.
couldn't I levitate it up there?
Can you levitate another thing besides yourself?
You can levitate other
I mean,
things.
I can levitate another person, so I don't see why a barrel of water would be that hard.
They might want to leave it down here so they can water the plants at
I
time.
mean, it is there for a
But-
reason.
But there are like 10. Oh, we can leave it. It's fine. I don't know why we're trying to do math around this.
Just knowing it's here is better than...
We're the group that spent how long trying to figure out how to light?
20
Never get
minutes.
to levitate nothing.
Let's try the next level.
Okay,
Can we,
so
like, take the food to the people first, please?
Skylar levitates herself because she really wanted to levitate something.
Corin and Nessa, I'm assuming at some point are going to bring
Yes.
the
Yeah.
fruit and vegetables.
Oh, I have fruit in my arms too.
and
I
Skylar.
reaches.
Skyla starts heading up the stairs before realizing she might need her arms to carry stuff. You go ahead and make your way back up. You kind of bring them this bounty of like fresh fruit. Very grateful. A couple of them begin to basically eat it right away.
I advise them to go slowly and then water down the stairs. You know, the soldier thing,
Yeah.
survival, etc., etc.
So I'm getting an echo from someone. Okay.
Yeah.
So they, a couple of them take a couple of them in their hands, and again, they have spent about 5 or so months living on very, very sparing amounts of food. So while they're seeing all this food come in, they are kind of eating at it, but you notice that they are taking it, and like they were when they were locked away with you, Nessa, they're taking what's the bulk of it, and they're storing it off on the side, and kind of already kind of rationing it out just out of habit at this point in time.
Poor babies.
And again, they're thanking you profusely as you guys go ahead and leave the room.
I give some more shoulder pats and smiles before I leave again.
That's
Skylar
that grin.
pats people's heads from the ceiling. She's
Oh my
Bye! Thanks, you're welcome.
So you're just levitating now.
Yeah, because I really wanted to levitate the water, and it didn't get to happen, so I just floated up and was like, forget you guys.
boo.
Okay, so after you guys finish that up, where are you headed?
To where the dragon was.
Well, yeah, whatever the next level up is, I guess.
Okay, so you guys make your way back up to the main floor, and at this point in time, let's see, how's that looking for you, Alaric? Is it coming up?
Yes. Yep. Yep.
Okay, good. All right, so you guys come up this floor here to the main hall, and what would you guys like to do? And we'll just go we'll just reverse the order this time around. How about Corin? What did you want to do first?
So I'm going to head to the dragon and see if I can harvest any of its parts. Perhaps teeth, claws, scales.
Okay. Are you proficient in Arcana or survival?
No.
I got that survival.
Neither of those?
Oh,
No,
you
but
do.
I am proficient in nature.
Okay, the dragon isn't actually
Natural.
Yep.
It's a magical creature. Looking at the dragon, you kind of, you see the potential there. You definitely see and have felt firsthand that it's very, very difficult to get through the scales. You felt the cold breath. So you know that there is definitely potential there, but honestly, without some kind of understanding of magical creatures or the basics of breaking down creatures, being a druid, not really, being used to harvesting creatures necessarily in that way, tending more towards the, natural accumulation of things from nature itself.
Yep.
You're not exactly sure where to start.
Okay. Well, then I would head back out, say, just generally into the hallway. If anyone wants to try and salvage anything from the dragon, it's all yours. And then I will head towards this room right by the stairwell and check this door. Are you muted?
Yeah.
Of course I am. It's my magic power. I'm just gonna open up all these doors, imagining that you guys are gonna be walking through them one at a time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay. All right. So as you enter into that room, you see basically kind of like a formal dining room almost area. You can tell that this is basically the chow hall of the place. Although it's pretty elegantly set, it definitely looks like, as with all things that the monks tend to do, they, take their meal times very seriously. There seems to be pretty much empty. There is a wine rack sitting on one of the tables that still actually has 2 bottles of wine in it. They're both fairly fine elvish wine. That you, just looking at the bottle and the label and the craftsmanship, you can tell probably would fetch a pretty penny on the market.
Ooh.
Well, I will snag those wine bottles then.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. While Corin is doing that, let's go to Nessa.
Alright, well, first of all, I would like to go to all of these bodies, see if I recognize them, and even if not, just say a few words at all of the people who died. Say a word to you.
Okay. Most of the bodies of the monks here you've seen or spoken to at least at some point before the attack began.
Mhm.
While you may not have known them all on a very, very intimate level, you do recognize them in passing, and you have some familiarity with each of them.
Okay, I just want to say a few words of respect for the dead. At them, at you, at him,
Okay.
at this guy, and then I'm gonna join them over here.
Okay, so as you're making your way doing that, kind of just, a word of respect to each of them, definitely feeling like there's absolutely nothing you can do for them at this point in time, but still being respectful, saying what you can. As she's doing that, Kaylee, is there anything you wanted to do?
Well, when Corin was like, "Hey, anybody want to harvest that thing?" I'm gonna come up here and try to harvest that thing.
Okay, do you have Arcana or Survival?
I have both.
Okay, so you need Arcana to be able to kind of try and make an educated guess at which parts of the dragon are worth something and what is the proper way to harvest them.
Okay.
Survival is required to actually have the skill to harvest them.
So need to do both checks.
You can do both checks. If someone else has a skill, they can help you.
I'll help.
in those checks. So if there's someone else that's proficient in Arcana, they can help with it. If there's someone else that's proficient in Survival, they can help with that.
Anybody
I got
else?
that survival.
Sweet. Anybody else know about magic things? Just me? Just me? Okay.
Wait,
we
what?
go.
What?
Matt,
What?
do you have
Arcana?
proficiency in Arcana? Do you know about magic things?
Nope.
Cool. Here I go.
Elvis, don't you know some magic things?
No, I don't.
Aw.
Okay.
Aw.
So going over the the basic like lore that you know of dragons, and what you have heard about them in passing, entertaining for various circles and things of that nature. You definitely pick up some of the small talk, entertaining for some wizards here and there and things along that line. Plus, just the stories that you've read, you know that various parts of magical creatures are used for certain things. Dragons are definitely a lot harder to come by, and there's also a little bit of a taboo in using things of dragon nature. You don't really recall exactly what it is, but you definitely know that it's it's not necessarily something that everyone is okay with. Looking over, you know the scales for sure can be useful. You've heard of dragon scale armor before, and then you think you've heard of something involving the blood of the dragon, but you're not exactly sure what its use is. And then you've also heard that the heart of a dragon is one of the most sought after things.
Okay, so I would like to try to get scales, and let me see what I've got. Oh, there it is. The heart. I don't really have. I mean, I guess I have wine bottles I could put some blood in. Let's just go for it all.
Okay, so where did you want to start?
I'll start with scales.
Okay, so are you doing the harvesting and Skyla is helping, or is Skyla doing the harvesting and you are helping?
I would definitely hand the knife over to Skyla and say, okay, Skyla, let's start trying to get some of these scales first. I shall assist you. Surgeon, what tool would you like first?
Alright. What tools do I want first?
It's just, I have a bunch of daggers. Pick one.
That one.
Okay, I hand her my dagger.
Okay, so you hand her the dagger. While you two are doing that, Alaric, is there anything you wanted to do?
I wanted to pick up that staff.
Okay, as you're walking around the room and you see Kaylee and Skyla doing this, go ahead and give me an insight check.
Me? Or that?
Yeah.
What?
You. Okay, you are definitely of a bit of a higher standing than most. You hang around in growing up with noble families, things of that nature. You've definitely heard of things like dragon armor, stuff like that. As they begin to kind of tear apart and get ready to pull things off of this dragon, you kind of just have this like nagging feeling at the back of your head. There's just this little bit of a twinge of guilt, and you can't really quite place it. And then it kind of dawns on you. You have this little bit of a, almost like that whisper on the back of your neck kind of moment, where you realize that your two companions right now are cutting up and harvesting a sentient creature. And especially in some circles, dragon circles most notably, it would be akin to cutting off an ear and wearing it as a necklace. So that thought kind of just like falls on you as you're going to pick up the staff.
And he says nothing.
And he says, nothing.
Yeah, Skyla, cut right there. Good job. Cut.
Can I roll for anything?
Just for something.
For morality.
This would be more on Alaric's kind of paladin class, the upholding the good type of thing. You, on the other hand, who have been imprisoned here by said creature for so long, You might feel something towards it, but you didn't really have any interaction with this creature one-on-one. So, Alaric, you managed to find the staff kind of haphazardly tossed to the side where the dragon threw it down as he transformed. And you find this. Let me see. I'm just going to show it to everyone. So that should have popped up.
Nope.
No? Wow. Alright.
Got nada.
Really?
I see it.
That's weird. All players. It should be there now.
Nope.
Above your guys' things.
Oh. Nope, there it goes.
Okay. So as you pick up the staff and kind of hold it, it definitely feels cold to the touch, where the leather is wrapped around this like almost glass-like shard of ice that makes up this staff. The handle is, where the leather is at least, is warm enough that you could hold it comfortably without any like ill effects or anything of that nature. You notice that it does kind of have a comfortable balance to it. It feels like it could be swung, similar to a quarterstaff, but maybe judging by the look of the edges, with a bit more bite. And there's definitely, just glancing at this thing, seeing it thrown to the ground, holding it now, even though the air around you is warming up, this is still ice cold. You know that this is more durable than just a random chunk of ice, and it's definitely it's definitely magical in nature, but you're not entirely sure what that nature is yet. You could probably spend some time investigating it, looking it over, and figuring it out.
I'm just gonna turn over my hands as I'm hearing the sounds of them beginning to try to cut into the dragon, and reluctantly I turn around and I say, "Wait."
Huh?
Yeah?
Need some? Bruh?
I'm not... I know that what happened here is a horrific circumstance, and the situation is extreme. But we still represent the Maelstrom Patrol. And before we decided to come here, we were about to go to an embassy of dragons as a representative for our organization.
Wait, it's the same kind of dragon?
Yes.
I just dropped my dagger. Nope. I thought there were different kinds of dragons. If I had known, I wouldn't have done this. It's not okay. I don't like this.
It's okay, Skyla.
It's not okay, Kaylee.
I mean, no, it's not okay to... That's not okay. You're not to blame, is what I'm saying. I pick up my dagger and, clean it off. I didn't really think about that. I just thought this was an evil douchebag. And that's as far as my logic went.
I don't think you're wrong. But
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I just think that we have to hold ourselves to a higher standard.
I was muted. Are you feeling okay there, Alaric? You sound kind of morose.
We've seen a lot of death today. And all of you nearly died. Except, Kaylee, you managed to avoid that, but all of you, Skyla, I saw you go down.
You saved a lot of people too, though. You did a lot of good.
I mean, we've seen our companions go down, Alaric. Except, yes, this is the first time we've seen Skyla fall.
Skyla's at the window, rubbing her bloody hands on the ice, like trying to wash them off. Not me.
Is there something about the dragon or about this place that is getting to you?
I don't know. I'm just ready to be rid of this place.
Tell me about it.
All right. Well, let's double time it, guys, and let's get what we need and move on.
Is there anything else in this room to look at?
Yep. Okay. So as you guys are glancing around, you see the remnants of these kind of crystal. Trying to think of the word, like obelisks that were assembled here by Tundrick, shattered from the heat that Corin kind of dumped on top of them. Laying about the room, you see 4 suits of armor that are in various states of kind of like disrepair. You also see 4 corresponding pedestals. Nessa, you were actually taken into this room. This kind of served as a bit of a temple as well as the entrance to the armory itself. A lot of the monks came in here to meditate and kind of reflect on what their mission was to protect what was behind those doors. And it was pointed out to you that the suits of armor that were here were actually enchanted in order to be kind of a last line of defense to protect this room in particular. Similar to the ones that the rest of the group had run into in the trial, but these suits of armor definitely are a lot nicer, a lot shinier, a lot newer, and in a lot better repair. Again, you can see some parts of them look like they were blasted with ice. One of them looks like maybe it was struck with some type of slashing weapon or something, but they were definitely taken out at some point. If anyone is proficient in magic, they could glance over the armor and take a look at them if they wanted to.
Yeah, I don't have Arcana.
Arcana, or just
What's
if we
magic?
can use magic?
Arcana skill in particular.
You guys can
man.
ask me to do it in a little bit.
Okay.
For the rest of the room, the front of the armory is basically completely coated in ice, but it looks like the doors that are behind this wall of ice are completely intact. It's a little bit hard to make out between, the distortion from this like solid 1.5 to 2 feet of ice that is caked on the front of this structure. Off to the far side, the far left side here over by Skyla, you can see where ice has been kind of formed up and smoothed down into a type of perch almost. It may be where the dragon had been sleeping or resting while he was trying to get into the armory for the past few months. And Skyla and Kate.
Scoot.
Skylar's just been rubbing dragon blood on this perch. Get
Yeah.
it off.
Skyla and Kaylee, as you guys are kind of looking about the room, heading to that side, you notice, caked in ice, on the far north part of the wall here, a small blue chest. It looks like it's a very, very nice, ornate-looking chest. It looks like it's wrapped in a type of leather that is either from some creature that you can't really tell which creature it's from, but it's from some creature that's either naturally blue or the leather has been beautifully dyed to have this kind of frosty look to it almost. Some frost is built up from the vent on it, and it looks like the front of it's almost completely caked over in ice.
Kaylee, it's blue. I'm blue.
I'm blue.
You're wearing blue.
Kaylee wants to.
Kaylee.
Kaylee tells Skylar to back up.
Well, I don't want to.
Just a little bit.
There, I backed up. Okay,
I'm gonna back up. I'm back. There, I backed up.
Yeah.
And then Kaylee's gonna throw a dagger at from over here. No, from over here. Throw a dagger at the chest to see if it bleeds.
But it's
Okay.
pretty.
So as you fling the dagger at the chest, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Well, that looks promising.
Okay. So as you throw the dagger, it kind of strikes across the top of the chest, and the dagger catches and cuts a very large gouge in the top of the leather. And the dagger doesn't stick in, it kind of goes glancing off and lands in the back of the room. Looking at it, you can see that there's some type of dark, almost ebony-like wood underneath that makes up the body of the chest, underneath this leather. And it looks like you've turned what essentially was probably about a 700 gold piece chest into about a 300 gold piece chest.
At least it didn't bite me. I'd like to check for traps.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
Nice.
Okay, looking at it, kind of glancing over it, the front of it has a latching mechanism. It doesn't seem to have a lock on it. It just has kind of like an intricate little latching system on the front of it. It's completely caked over with ice, and it looks like it might be a little bit difficult to open, but you can't actually see anything about this mechanism that looks strapped. Kind of glancing around the gap of the chest, it looks beautiful, but it doesn't look like anyone's made any modifications or anything to it.
Can I try to melt the ice with my torch?
You could probably give it a good shove. I mean, it's got frost and a bit of ice on it, but it's not like encased in ice like some of the doors have been.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Look out, Skyla. I don't want it to bite you.
But I thought we already decided it won't bite.
I'm just saying.
Okay, so who's opening the chest?
I will.
I can do it. Let's do it at the same time.
3 hours later.
Yeah.
Let's do it at the same time, Kaylee.
Skyla and Kaylee opened it together.
Okay, so you push on the latching mechanism on the front. You see this series of kind of like levers shift over to the side and disengage the top half of the chest. Ice kind of breaks away and falls. As you lift open the top of the chest, inside you find an assortment of objects, and we will go over those now.
Yes.
Okay, let us see. Let me grab everything here, guys, and we will
So many
start.
beans.
It is. Yep. We will start with that, and then I will grab this because I have everything else written down. Okay. So sitting on top of a small pile of coins and gems, you see the first thing that catches your eye. There are several objects leaned up against the backside of the chest. You see a very, very beautiful looking bow.
Eee!
Let me just take some.
That was adorable.
Skyla does a happy dance. Kaylee, you see it?
I see it.
Ooh.
It's gorgeously made. It's made of very, very exotic woods, and it has a simple leather quiver that is ornately designed alongside of it. Leaned up. What?
Sorry, I'm laughing at a typo.
Oh, did I
The
miss it?
body is made of a dork. Sorry, okay.
Dork
Skyla moment.
ebony wood. I'm glad Skyla caught my typo.
Guys, it's a dork.
There. Fixed.
Thank you.
Fixed it.
Yep.
Basically, behind the bow, leaned up against it, you see a very, very interesting looking object. It's, it almost looks like a decorative piece of wood that someone might mount on a door to like a manor or an estate. As you guys kind of begin pulling these things out of the chest, first the bow, which I'm assuming Skyla is kind of looking over at this point in time.
Well, no, not yet.
Not yet? Okay, so you guys are pulling these things out of the chest one at a time. This round piece of wood, as you pull it out, looking at the engravings and things on it, Kaylee pulling this out and turning it over, you see that instead of kind of like a mounting mechanism, it actually has handles similar to a shield on the back of it. And you guys find this.
Hey, Corin.
Ooh. I come over and I take a look.
BT dubs, I actually rolled for this stuff. And,
That's amazing.
made a couple changes here and there just to kind of tailor it. So all of this stuff was like actually rolled for.
Nice.
Then basically laying on top of the assortment of like loose coins and gems in the bottom, you see a very, very beautiful and at the same time unusual looking set of armor. It's made of like overlapping bands of metal. The metal has a bit of a kind of strange swirl to it. It almost looks like it's a mixture of different types of metal. And the style that it's in isn't anything that you guys have actually seen before. You don't have any experience with. As you pull it out, it feels a little bit heavy pulling it out of the chest, but there's a suit of armor that's basically folded up in there. And it looks like this.
Ooh. Hey, Alaric. You still sad, buddy? You want to come take a look at this?
You might not be sad after this.
Got some shiny armor for you.
Alaric.
You might be muted.
Look at the shiny.
I am muted. Yeah.
He's been talking for the last 2 minutes. We've been talking
He's like,
over
I'm
you.
coming over there, guys.
Why is no one
That's why
paying
he's
attention
sad.
to me?
Yes.
Here you go, buddy. Take a look at this.
So as you guys pull this armor out and place it on the ground or hand it off, one last thing kind of catches your eye, settled kind of nestled in with the rest of the coins and stuff. Something that you guys actually have seen once or twice before, and
Ooh,
find
what is it?
a Seeker's Compass. You guys know that the Seekers who are kind of sent out to, monitor and maintain portals, handle them once they've been closed by beacons and things of that nature, use these things. You've seen them before. They actually interact with the beacons. You've seen Grathen, when you guys were in the swamp, Grathen's people had taken one out and had basically scanned the beacon interacted with the beacon that the hag was using to mess with the portal. You're not exactly sure, but just kind of like off the cuff, you think that maybe it might be Liam's. You hadn't found any of his equipment with him. So this was tucked in with the dragon's things as well.
I will put that in the bag of holding to take back to, like when we see Grathen or something.
Okay. And then on top of that, actually there was one last thing. As you guys begin pulling out the vast amount of gems and coins that are coming out, you guys come across one simple silver ring.
I don't know who this goes to because I don't know what it does. I guess I will hold on to it and see what happens and see what it does and figure out who it needs to go to.
Okay, so as you pull this out of the bottom, kind of glancing it over, it's a silver ring and it's carved to resemble the head of a raven. Very, very beautiful, kind of intricately hand carved, and emblazoned on the inside is a single word. And then you find a handful of gems scattered throughout the coins. There are about 8 gems. Glancing them over, Kaylee, and probably, well, I don't know if Corin would know from anything in his background, but Kaylee, having kind of an eye for this type of thing, you could gather that they're probably in the realm of about 100 gold pieces each.
Each?
Each.
Okay, so I've got $800, 800 gold pieces worth of gems.
Yes.
Okay, that goes in the bag of holding.
And then you find basically a veritable buttload of coins, which I'm just going to go ahead and paste in.
Yes.
That's fine.
Yes.
We really canal rich now.
Just bag of holding and just drag it through the chest to scoop up the coins.
Can we just push the chest into the bag of holding?
If Nessa sees us, she actually chokes.
Leave it.
Skyla pockets one gold piece.
I don't know if the chest would actually fit. The chest is very, very large. It's probably about the better part of 6 feet long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I would say almost 4 feet tall. Like it's a very large. It's almost more of a trunk, I
It's
guess,
bigger
than
than
a chest.
corn.
Yeah, it's a very
Yeah.
big chest for like a dragon who was keeping his hoard in it, basically.
So, do we want the money in the group journal? Because I've been adding stuff in there.
Yes.
I think
Okay.
everyone should get some, but most of it should just go in the group journal.
I will die without it.
Okay, I will.
Does everyone get like 100 gold? Let's give everyone 100 gold pieces and a gem.
And 1 gem. Okay.
And then that means 2 gems. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 gems go in the bag,
Okay.
and then whatever
And then
else.
I'll figure out the rest. All right. I'll do that.
So 100 gold to everyone and a gem worth 100.
Yeah.
Skylar's bag is a little heavier.
Okay.
Haley, this gem is real shiny.
Right?
I've never seen something so shiny before.
If we keep traveling together, Skylar, we might see even shinier things.
More shinier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
How do
mean,
you make it more shinier? Because this is really shiny, Kaylee.
there are better craftsmen. There are spells. There's just so much you need to see in the world, Skylar. We're gonna show it all to you.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So excited.
Mental,
I
you
want-
mentioned earlier that this over here was like the dragon's perch.
Basically, it's you guys have seen various like ice crystals and things around. This looks like someone had actually like formed a large section of ice crystals and then through some means or another kind of ground down like a flat section along the top of it.
Okay. How much would characters know about dragons' hordes, or is that more OOC knowledge?
Or would I know from like a history check or anything?
If you guys are proficient in history, I'd let you make a roll.
I'm so proficient in history. I'm not like double proficient, but I am proficient. What does it do for me though? A little bit? Good God.
I also know some history.
You please roll,
Go ahead and make a check too.
because you are not me.
Nissa knows nothing about anything.
Skylar doesn't even know what history means. What's a history?
Yeah. This is only my job, but you did better. Good
It's
job.
actually
Okay.
herstory, Skyla.
Herstory?
We'll explain
so
later.
Okay.
from what you know of dragons in general, at least the stories that you've heard, that dragons, in some way, shape, or form, are generally obsessed with wealth or power. Most dragons begin kind of accumulating a hoard when they find a lair that they are making into like their permanent home. They begin to transform it and manifest it into something that suits them more. You do know and have heard stories of ice dragons having lairs where they basically freeze their hoard in the walls and the ground of their lair. But you've also heard stories that if dragons do not have a lair, they tend to carry their hoard with them in some means if they can.
Okay.
So that's what Alaric would know. Kaylee, basically along the same lines, but you don't have the specifics of like the different types of dragons.
Mm-hmm.
You've read stories about dragons and their hordes and things of that nature.
Corn, are you looking in? You have some interest in the perch here?
Yes, I'm just wondering. I do know of. I've heard stories that dragons have hordes. I'm wondering if perhaps this one has one here, or if maybe Frost Scourges was back on the ice plane.
From what I
Or
know,
potentially in the chest that you guys just looted.
Yeah.
Potentially.
from what I know, dragons. I don't know what all typically, dragons keep their hoard on them. That's about as in depth as my knowledge goes. We can certainly check in here. Does any how much of a javelin is metal?
About, a good 3 or 4 inches of the tip.
Oh,
The rest of it's wooden.
well, it's about inventory. Does anyone have anything that's longer and made of metal? Anybody?
Like how long?
Like 5, 6 inches, 7 inches?
Why do you need it?
How long? I don't know what inches are, but maybe this rod is long enough.
Because if we can shove it in the ice, I can heat it up and we can melt it from the inside out.
I could also just keep producing flame on the ice.
Hey, you do that.
I don't want you to heat up my immovable rod.
Yes. So
Oh yeah, no,
we
let's
don't
not
want
use
to
that.
do that. So
Yeah. I have a hammer or a crowbar. I don't care about those.
That's okay. Let's let Corin do his thing
Yep,
first.
so I just start doing a flamethrower slowly and carefully on the perch, seeing if there's anything, and also just generally trying to erase the trace of Frost Scourge from the monastery.
Okay, so you spend a fair amount of time kind of like melting this away with a small flame in your hand. Now that there isn't like a constant flow of ice and cold air being forced into this monastery, you make fairly decent progress, but it's still slow going. You get probably about 6 inches to, a foot of the first chunk of this ice down and melted away as the perch is kind of falling away, and you haven't come across anything. The ice is fairly clear due to the magical nature that kind of formed it. It's kind of almost crystal looking. You're not seeing anything that's glinting, catching the light from your produced flame, anything of that nature.
Okay, well, I will just keep going, because as I said, I'm trying to also erase any of Frost Scourge's remnants in here.
Okay, so over the course of probably about the next 30 to 40 minutes of just continuous flame, you kind of obliterate most of this perch.
Yep.
Okay.
If he was doing that for
about like a 30 minutes,
Yeah.
what does everyone else want to do?
I'm taking a look at the ring.
Is there any way that I could investigate these armors to see if I could figure out what's wrong with them?
You could take a look at them if you wanted to just give me an investigation check on the armor itself.
If I see Niesa looking at the armor, I might just ask her what she's looking for. Are these important?
They were very special here. They were placed here on purpose to protect this area, and I don't feel right leaving them behind in a broken state.
That makes sense. What can I do anything to help?
Sure, I don't know anything about magic, do you?
I know a little bit. I mean, literally just, I know very little. Yay, finally!
Hey!
Not an 11.
Okay, so Nessa, as you're kind of glancing over each of these sets of armor, you notice that they're all in various degrees of kind of, like I said, like disrepair. They were actually recently in battle. At least when the first attack took place, they were in a battle and were damaged to the point where they're no longer operational. Kaylee, as she's looking over this and kind of describing it to you, you kind of look at the pedestals and you look at the armor, and through her description of it, it's very similar to the armor that you saw down in the trials. Glancing over it, kind of looking at it, taking it in, and trying to see and feel out if there's any kind of magical nature. Whatever magical enchantment had brought these to life and put them in place has been completely severed from the basically, ornate and beautiful looking, but now completely normal sets of armor that are laying strewn about the armory, or the temple in front of the armory. Nessa, again, as you're looking them over, you do see that they're in various states, but you probably figure that you could grab, enough of the pieces that you might be able to assemble one fully functional suit of armor. It might need a little bit of adjusting here and there to suit up to someone and be a proper fit, but
Wait, you mean like full plate armor?
yes.
Okay.
So these used to be magical, but they don't seem to be magical anymore. So they just look like a bunch of suits of armor now. if they're not, sentimental to the temple, something might be, reconstituted, repurposed, given a loving home, if you will.
That could be excellent. I'd have to talk to Daiichi about that when he wakes up, though. I don't know if they could remake these to work, or if someone enterprising could take them,
I think it's an enchantment, so I don't think it necessarily has to be these particular sets of armor.
Oh, excellent. That's interesting. All right. Mm-hmm. Yes. I'll keep that in mind.
Quite so. And so, for the rest of the 30 minutes, I would have just taken a look at the ring.
Okay, so you kind of spend most of it kind of looking over these suits of armor. Again, glancing at the ring, it looks like a silver ring. It has the word inscribed on the inside of it. And again, it's very, very intricately carved. I don't know if you want to put it on or anything of that nature.
Well, I mean, I have to see how it looks to see if it's my style.
Okay, so are you putting the ring on?
Yes.
Okay, so as you slide the ring on, it's a little bit big for you. It definitely is very, very loose on your finger. As it slides down to the base of your finger, you feel it snug up and very, very comfortably as it resizes itself to your hand.
Ooh, that's convenient yet creepy. That's it? It's a resizable ring?
Is there anything else you wanted to do with the ring?
I say... I know, yeah. I drop the ring and I tumble away. I say nevermore. Nevermore.
Okay.
Where have I read that? Okay!
Ancient story. So as you say the word nevermore, the ring has now sized itself. You say the word nevermore, and you hear almost an audible cawing noise. And looking down, the ring, the head of the ring begins to move, and bursting from the ring, a raven takes flight.
Skyla screams at the top of her lungs.
Skyla, is this one of your birds? What is happening?
As it burst from the ring, all that's left in its place is a simple silver band on your hand, and flying around and landing on a perch somewhere, sitting on top of one of the broken chunks of the obelisk, sitting there kind of glancing at you is a raven.
Kaylee, what did you do?
Does it draw her glaive?
I didn't do it.
What happened?
Excuse me, Mr. Bird. Could you please go back into the ring? Or tell me who you are. I don't know what. Nyasa, was this you? What?
I didn't do anything.
Goodness.
I have my glaive out now, and I'm like staring at the raven super distrustfully.
Don't hit the bird. It hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah.
It came out of nowhere, is what it did.
It came out of it came out of your finger. What is this?
Well, I just can I roll anything to see what is it? What is it doing? Let's ask that.
You could roll an Arcana check, but the bird is literally perched and kind of looking at you.
Okay.
Let me double check something. Okay. So it sits there as you kind of. There you go. Yeah, that's what it does. Okay, I was trying to figure it out, and I lost where it was. But so as it sits there, it's kind of looking at you. As you kind of, address it and says Mr. Bird and things of that nature, it kind of tilts its head and kind of caws at you a little bit.
Mr. Bird? My name is Kaylee, and as long as you don't peck anybody's eyes out, you will be safe.
It just kind of tilts its head the other side and kind of caws at you.
Skyla immediately covers her eyes.
Sir Bird, can you fly over to the other glass orb? Maybe it just does what I says. I don't know. Ooh!
The bird immediately takes
How
flight.
did you do that, Kaylee?
I think when you wear the ring, the bird can understand you and it listens to you. I wonder if it can respond. Mr. Bird, are you hungry? You're muted.
What? No, I'm not. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
You're good.
Okay, I wasn't muted. I don't know what happened there. That wasn't my fault this time, guys. As you ask it if it's hungry, it kind of just tilts its head and kind of caws at you again.
I know that means yes or no. Okay, well, I,
Okay, you can have one of my. Oh, all my rations are upstairs.
I think that's okay for now. I don't want to put you back in the ring, because I don't know if that is cool for you or not. So for now, Mr. Bird, stay.
And the bird just kind of stays where it's at.
Okay, anybody else go?
Well,
Like,
Go
it's...
where?
What else are you guys doing?
So that would be, that'll bring us to Alaric. Are you muted?
Who's probably muted?
So, at the moment, I probably wouldn't do anything.
Okay, so who has what items, I guess, would be the biggest question right now.
I
have-
have no item.
I was
Skylar's
taking
gonna
the
check out the
shield.
bow.
Okay, Skyla has the bow, Corin took the shield, Kaylee took the compass, and
And the ring.
The
Mhm.
ring. And
The armor
Alaric-
is like on the floor.
yeah, Alaric has
Like
the
a
staff,
leg.
And the
there's
armor.
another set of armor.
There were 2 sets of armor?
Well, there was
Three.
that set of armor, essentially. That came out of the chest. There's the set of armor that...
Oh, right.
He came out of the chest armor.
Oh, Alaric, you took the chest armor?
He took the relic armor.
Okay.
Well, what you meant, like, the treasure chest, not the wearing on your chest.
Yes, the treasure chest armor. The
Yeah.
horde
The
armor.
relic armor.
Yep.
The relic.
Okay. So you just have the armor and the staff. You're just going to be kind of...
Probably not can do anything with it yet. Probably wait. But
Okay. Alright. And then that'll bring us back to Skyla.
I'll be looking at the bow.
Okay. So are you guys resting here? What are you doing?
I would want to go rest up with the survivors.
Yeah, I'd rather rest up
me too.
with everyone else. Where
Okay.
the fire is.
Alright. So as Corin kind of finishes up, you guys gather up everything that you've found here, and you guys make your way back to where the survivors are.
I tell the bird to come and follow us.
Okay, so the bird kind of like flits along from perch to perch behind you, following you. And you guys go ahead and make your way back up to where the survivors are, and you want to take a short rest, or a long rest, or...
Is it? It's not nighttime yet, is it?
It's roughly evening time.
Okay.
So,
You've had a long day.
I mean, you guys have been, melting stuff. You guys have been carrying food left and right. You've been tending to the survivors. You've been harvesting dragons. You've been not harvesting dragons. You've been looting hordes. You've been not looting hordes. You've been pretty busy.
Yeah, I say we take a long rest, maybe.
Long
Please.
rest,
Does anyone-
attune.
Yeah.
Does anyone have anything to drink?
There was that barrel of water down in the basement.
I mean, something real to drink.
So
I have this crappy ale and wine in my backpack.
Just a second.
I'll take some ale.
Hold
I'm
on.
popping out the ale.
Yes.
Oh, I don't think I have the item card for the any mug on
Well, I-
stream, but
Oh.
Corin can summon. What would you like to drink, Alaric?
Well,
Oh, what is this?
It's what Alonzo won from the drinking contest. I believe
Oh,
you
what?
can just, as long as it's a non-magical liquid, you just think of what you want and it'll fill up with said liquid.
Are
How
you
did this
kidding me?
never come up before now?
Because it wasn't
No one's had
super
time to
useful
drink
before.
yet.
Corin, we were on a ship for 20 days.
And Corin had something beautiful to drink every one of those days.
Gordon, where are you getting that to drink? Oh,
20 days.
Alaric's salty like the sea right now.
It's just like laughing uproariously, like, oh my gosh, she hasn't had other people to talk to humorously in so long.
Of whiskey. Give me some good dwarven whiskey.
And I think of dwarven whiskey, and since I don't have the card, I'm assuming that the any mug does fill up with dwarven whiskey.
Yeah, I gave you the card for the stream just for now.
Yep.
So basically, Corin pulls out this crude-looking kind of stone mug. It looks like it was almost hand-chiseled from a solid piece of stone. It has dwarven runes around the outside of it. As he kind of pulls out this mug and he closes his eyes and concentrates, there's a little bit of a flash, and then you can tell that there's a bit of a sloshing as this basically coffee mug-sized mug is completely filled with a very, very strong, pungent dwarven whiskey. Not exactly sure about the ratio, but there's more than a shot in there, if I were to say. There's a mug-sized thing of whiskey in front of you guys now.
I don't know. Okay, I'll do it. So I take a sip and I pass it to the person on my left. Whoever
Skyla.
Skyla.
Skyla immediately takes a sip and passes it to Nessa. Nessa.
I take a healthy swig.
Drink, pass.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys are passing this around in the room with the survivors that are kind of sitting inside, eating their fresh fruits and things like that. Most of them having eaten and now relieved that they're, out of whatever situation they were in. As you guys were gone, they actually went into the other room and brought the mattress and the blankets and things of that nature into this room. And they're all, except for maybe one or two who are kind of like fighting off sleep, passed out. So you guys are sitting around drinking this. Tahiti's in the bed. There's actually one of the elder ladies is laying in the same bed as him, kind of just like, passed out next to him.
I'd like to go around and make sure everyone's tucked in and comfortable.
Yeah, they're while maybe not the best accommodations, they're definitely far more comfortable.
Yeah.
Seeing the ones awake, Skyla's just gonna up to me. You can go to bed now. We're here. Don't worry. We'll make sure nothing bad comes. Okay?
You get a couple kind of smirks out of that. A couple of them feel relieved. The one or two that are still awake, and you see them kind of nod a little bit and begin to kind of just settle in a bit more.
Kaylee goes and tries to find some of the fruit that we had found, or that Nyasa had found, and feed it to Yave.
Oh.
So you go ahead and find a couple pieces of fruit. An apple here, orange, berries. There's a little bit of a kind of a variety that you could choose from. And you find a couple of her favorite pieces of fruit, and you go ahead and feed it to her. And if you wanted to make an animal handling check.
Yes!
Come on.
Love me!
Oh.
Damn it, so fucking average.
You see her kind of crawl out of the hood that you have kept her in, curled up along the back of your neck for warmth. She kind of leans forward and almost timidly takes the berry out of your hand and retreats back into the hood out of the cold. And as she retreats back in, even though she was only exposed briefly, you feel her shivering a little bit as she's eating the berry underneath, kind of tucked up next to you.
You will love me one day.
Wait, so she's hiding in Kaylee's hood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I see this interaction happening?
Yeah, you can.
I would
guys are
like
basically
to-
sitting around closely.
I would like to prestidigitate Kaylee's hood to be warmer.
Oh.
Okay. So as you lean out and you begin to cast the spell, Kaylee, you see her kind of, twirling her fingers in your direction. Is there anything that you wanted to do?
I just hold very still because I have no idea what she's doing because I don't know that spell.
So as she begins to do this, you feel this kind of warmth emanate out from your hood. And there's a little bit of a, kind of a flash as the magic kind of rushes past, fills the hood, and Yave almost immediately stops shivering and kind of nestles in a bit more and continues eating her berry.
I reach back and I feel the warmth in my hood. I look over at Nyasa and give her a little nod. You're gonna have to teach me that one someday.
All right, I'll try.
Is Corin still wearing the wolf pelt?
Yeah,
but it was
the inside out,
prestidigitated.
it was prestidigitated, which would have cleaned it up some, but there's
Still
still
has,
going to
like,
be
skin.
scraps of skin and meat hanging off it. It doesn't
Okay.
necessarily smell, but
Well,
So
yeah,
gross.
so just seeing Kaylee feed Yave, I'm like, oh, right. I'm gonna, not even mentioning to Corin, just yank the wolf pelt off and, open whatever opening I can find and just shove Fluffy in there. Like, go have dinner.
I just raised
Okay.
my eyebrows at her, but let her do that.
Yank.
So you take your small pocket pooch out, basically this amalgam
Pokemon.
that has been kind of nestling up and sleeping through most of this adventure because we forget they're there all the time. And as you kind of wake him up, he lets out a bit of a yawn, and it's a little bit high pitched. Kind of hits a note for some people. And as you kind of put him towards this wolf pelt, he like crawls in and kind of sniffs around, and then immediately just like falls back asleep inside the wolf pelt.
All right, I'm gonna like peek in. But Fluffy are supposed to eat, not. All right. No one bother Fluffy. He's sleeping in the pelt.
Okay, so Fluffy is kind of just like sleeping in the pelt, snuggled up a little bit. And did anyone want to do anything in particular for the duration of the long rest?
Well, I believe we should still keep a watch just to be safe.
Nessa will.
I can take first watch. I'm not tired yet.
We'll stay.
No one wants me to take last watch.
I'm exhausted, but Nessa's like, hardwired to watch over these people right now.
I doff.
15 minutes later.
Alaric begins to, methodically like take off the.
Is it really 15 minutes? I thought it was like 10.
I
5?
think it is 10.
I think it's 15
might
to
be
put
10.
it on.
Oh, okay. Well, so over the course of the next few minutes, Alaric begins kind of methodically taking off bits and pieces of his armor and setting it aside, kind of getting more comfortable and breathing a bit of a sigh of relief now that he's, you guys are out of the dire situation you were in.
Yep, 5 to doff, 10 to don.
Okay.
I stay in my armor and just kind of roll out my bedroll I haven't seen in 5 months and sit on it and lean against a wall or the bedpost that Tahichi's laying in, and just kind of settle in to watch.
Okay. Anyone else?
Well, when it comes my turn for watch, I will want to check out the Sentinel shield.
Okay. And Kaylee, anyone want to do anything in particular with any of the items you found?
I mean, I'll try to still figure out this raven thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna be looking at the bow
All right.
on my watch. Maybe.
Alaric?
What's the watch?
Yeah.
What are we doing? Never mind.
Whenever it's my turn to watch, I'll probably put on the relic armor.
Let's go left to right.
Ba-da-da-da.
Sure, let's go left to right.
That works.
Well,
Okay.
well, right to left because Nessa's planning on starting, maybe?
All right, right to left.
Skylar wanted to go first. You don't want me to go last.
Fight me!
For you.
You two can have first watch together,
That's true.
and then the
Oh,
rest of
okay.
us will take 2-hour shifts.
Okay, so Skyla and Nessa, you take the first 2-hour shift, and then Alaric, Kaylee, Corin.
Yep.
All right. So as we come on to Skyla and Nessa's turn, Skyla, you said you wanted to take a look at the bow.
Oh yeah, that's me. Yes, but also talk to Nessa a little bit.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put the bow in your items here.
Exciting.
And then I will make it for Skyla only. And here we go. Okay. As you begin pulling on the bow and testing the strength of the pull and how accurate it is and things of that nature, you can definitely tell that this is a very, very, very well-made bow. You can tell that just through a couple practice pulls that it's one of the finer bows you've probably ever seen. Most of the bows you guys use in the tribe that you're from, they're made out of natural materials. They're reliable. They do work for you, but they're made out of necessity almost more than anything. This bow is very beautiful and very, very well crafted by a master bowyer, and so you should have all the details on
Yes.
it. Okay.
Sweet. And then like trying to be as super nonchalant as possible, that as Skylar can manage. She's gonna like go sit next to Nessa and be like, "So, do you know any other exits out of this place?"
Well, I mean, do I?
Besides the fiery one that we had to go through, because I don't really want to test that one.
Oh, there I do actually, don't I? Because I came in the one that wasn't fiery. So yes.
So the exit that you know, you guys have actually passed about 7 or 8 different times, and I can just go ahead and show you. Nessa, you know that.
Frick.
Oh, this is you guys here.
Shift click to it.
Yeah, I gotta move everyone. Hold on. You guys won't be able to see it, so I'm just gonna move all of you.
Oh.
Well, Nessa, there you go. It's right here.
What? Oh, yeah. All right.
So where we fought all the ice methods.
Yep. And I'm gonna pull you too, Skyla.
Oh yeah, where the guy was standing.
No.
Is that the one? No, that's the place to the inside. This is to the outside.
Kaylee, here. This door right here, guys.
Okay.
So is it all icy?
I thought that was the door that we came in. That was the flame door. The flame hall. What is Alaric hitting?
Alaric is still upstairs. So I'm just showing you guys for just like general sake. Nessa, you know that this door here is the exit.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? Oh God! Don't say that. No, I just love it. Okay. So there's the door. It's downstairs, right?
It actually fire. Did you guys come in through the trials door?
Yeah. Kaylee put her hand on the door.
Oh well, I just came in. The easy way, the normal door.
Well, where is that?
Well, we've walked past it. It's been frozen, but
Is it
I mean,
still frozen?
everything. All the ice is melting. I kicked the door in earlier.
It's not frozen.
JK, it's not frozen at all.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So,
So Nessa, you don't actually know where the trials exit is.
Right.
You just know where the main entrance is.
Right.
but she knows that the trials are there. We went through that.
She knows of the trials, but she doesn't know where they are, where they come out.
Oh, okay.
No, but she would know if we didn't come in through the
The normal door.
normal door that we would have had to go through the trials. That would be like knowledge for her. She would know that.
As far as I'm just saying, Nessa knows which door leads to the outside.
Yeah. Anyway, okay.
Yeah.
My answer is yes. I do
so-
know what door leads outside.
So we So that's the one downstairs.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna go check that door really quick because I want to make sure nothing's coming in or out. So I'll be right back. Okay.
All right.
And Skyla's gonna go out hunting because she thinks she's super slick.
Okay, so if you go out hunting, you don't gain the benefit of a long rest.
I understand.
Okay. So Skyla's gonna go ahead and leave and go hunting.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Alright.
gain 1 level of exhaustion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though you nearly died, you...
I'm fine. It's fine, guys.
Skylar do what she want.
I'm fine.
She don't give a.
Nope.
Okay. So you go ahead and go down to the door downstairs. Skylar, you swear that even though this is the door Nessa has told you leads directly to the outside, you swear this is the same door that you guys came in through the trials. You're muted.
That's what I said!
You go to the door that Nessa told you leads to the outside. And again, I will actually move Skyla over there since she is now splitting the party.
Good call. Good call.
Sorry.
And you
Okay, I
know,
love it.
everyone else is not here, just you.
I would like to say that after an hour of her being gone, I'm gonna go check on her. Because she never said she was gonna go stay there. She said she was gonna go check on it.
Can you see anything? Yeah. Okay. So this door here is the door that you swear you guys came in through from the trials. You walk up to it. It's not caked over in ice. You can see where it has recently swung open, and the frost and kind of ice that's on the ground has the scrape marks from the door. Your guys' footprints coming in through it. But you can see now that you kind of glance at the door again that there is a bit of a breeze kind of blowing underneath the door, just a very, very small breeze blowing through. As you grab the door and open it, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay, so as you grab the door and open it,
Roll for initiative.
to another dragon.
Scourge's big brother.
Directly outside to the bridge that you guys, the covered bridge that you guys came across the first time. And turning around, looking behind you, you see the outside of the door with the wooden handprint on it.
Uh-oh. Alright, I see the handprint and be like, oh look, that's like the door we were in before. And just go.
Okay, so you head off into the wilderness and down the trail, basically across the bridge and down the path that you guys made your way up, looking for any kind of small game that you can. Okay, Nessa, what did you want to do for the rest of your turn?
So did I notice that when I summoned my packed weapon, it was like really bright flash of light when that happened?
Yeah, you noticed that it was, that there is a bit of a flash to it. You, with some practice and control, you could probably summon it without that.
Okay, well I was gonna play with it, but everyone's sleeping, so I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, I guess I'll just kind of sit and think and try not to be tired and keep watch. And then after an hour, start to worry about Skyla.
Okay.
And then go check on her.
About an hour has passed. Well, between the time of Skyla looking over her bow and her leaving and stuff like that, it's getting close to time to switch over watch. Almost 2 hours has passed at this point.
Okay.
So if you wanted to go ahead and check and leave everyone up here, or did you want to wake someone up?
Nah. So who did I say I was gonna wake up next? Did we decide? Huh?
Lark.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna go over to Alaric and gently shake him awake.
Smashes you with the mace.
Face! Dead.
It's been my turn.
Yes, also, Skyla said she was gonna go check on the door outside, and she hasn't come back. Just thought you ought to know.
She lost.
She said she was gonna check and make sure nothing was coming in.
She got
But she
lost
didn't
going
come
up
back.
and down the stairs.
She just said she was gonna check on it, and it's been an hour.
Doesn't.
Is this
Greatly
normal? Is this a
surprised
thing
me.
that I should be worried about? Oh, well.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if she forgot which way she was going, or I mean, she's got a good sense of direction. Maybe she just got tired and took a nap somewhere.
Oh, right, well, if you're not worried, I'm not going to worry.
No, you get some sleep.
Alright. Good night, Alaric.
Good night.
Alaric? Dang it.
It's alright. As she kind of settles to sleep,
I'm actually gonna take off my armor.
there you go.
As you
For
doff
the
your
first time
armor,
ever.
this pungent smell. No.
Yep.
Ew.
Bro.
5
Violet
months.
smells it and finds her way home.
Somehow makes it through the trials by herself because of the smell.
I'm gonna, as I kind of come awake and kind of waiting till Nessa drifts off, I'm just gonna stir Kaylee awake. And is she here? Kaylee?
No, I don't think so.
Bummer.
I mean,
Well-
sorry, I was muted. My thing wasn't coming up.
Okay. All right.
So you're gonna wake me up right
yeah.
after you're gonna fucking pull a
Barnaby.
Okay,
Barnaby?
wait.
Okay.
Well, give me a
Okay, sorry.
chance here.
I'm imagining evil Alaric, so I'm like, oh, you bag of
Oh yeah.
pigs.
No, that makes sense. Kaylee,
Yeah, is my watch?
not quite yet. Skyla seems to have gone missing.
What? Like,
Yeah.
did she disappear? Like, what?
But Nessa said she went to wander off and she never came back.
Where did she say where she wandered off to?
She said she went to check on the door and that was it.
The door. Like the portal?
I believe it was the door of the entrance to this monastery.
She went hunting.
Does it sound like her?
Do you want me to go check her out? Go hunt her down?
What raven you have? Is there any way that... I don't know if there's anything that we can use with that.
That's a good idea. Mr. Bird.
At this point, the bird kind of cocks its head at you from where it's sitting perched up on top of the bed and kind of lets out a soft kind of caw.
Can you find Skyla?
It kind of tilts its head again and just continues to look at you.
I don't think that's one of the things that it knows how to do yet. Maybe I have to train it. I'm really good with animals, so it shouldn't take that long.
I think you and I have spent the most time with Skylar. Do you think that she'll be alright, or should we go look for her?
Well, she grew up in the mountains. She grew up in like a forever winter mountains. These aren't her mountains, but I think that she knows how to survive the cold and the difficult terrain. But I don't know if she knows how to survive by herself, encountering whatever she might encounter.
Alright, and I'm gonna start donning...
Nope,
armor.
Alaric, someone needs to stay here and
Well, no, you can
keep
wake up.
watch.
You can wake up Corin or Marcus or Orin or someone. I'm gonna go look for her.
But I'm much faster than you, Alaric.
And you're gonna need me with you.
I mean, that's fair. Let's see. They watched for 2 hours. Corin can watch for 2 hours, and then we can try to take another shift when we get back.
Or Marcus and Orin could take a shift.
Marcus and Orin! Oh my gosh, let's wake up Marcus.
Okay.
Marcus!
I bop him on the head with the man.
Cave in his skull.
No, just a little. Just a little.
Little tippy tap. So as you kind of prod him awake, he kind of sits up, looks around, and looks at each of you, asks what's going on.
Listen, we don't need you to do anything except sit here and make sure nothing attacks without waking somebody up. Does that make sense, buddy?
He kind of grumpily, he's like, alright, and kind of leans up and sits up a little bit and kind of acts like he's keeping watch.
I go and wake up Orin.
As you wake up Orin kind of sits up and looks at you as well and nods at you, asks what's up.
I need you to make sure that Marcus keeps... No, I'm kidding. I just need you to keep watch. I told Marcus to keep watch, but I don't think he's actually going to keep watch.
Orin just nods.
Okay, thanks, buddy. Are you done donning, Alaric?
Yeah, I'm putting on that relic armor.
Okay, so you're putting on the relic armor?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
I tell the Raven to come with us.
Okay, so the Raven begins to follow along behind you.
Could we maybe do a bathroom break?
Yeah, and as everyone leaves to go do that, we will do a bathroom break.
Yeah, sounds good.
Alright.
Bye, BRB.
Break text
Alright.
is up on the stream. BRB.
Bye. Well, hello, streamers and dreamers. It's just me. No one else here.
I thought Alaric wanted like a little heart-to-heart.
What?
I thought Alaric was going to ask for heart-to-heart because Kaylee had asked how he was doing. So I was like, oh, we're going to talk about it.
Nope,
and then
just
he
gotta
wasn't
go
going to talk
find
about it.
Skyla.
Alright, Alaric, just keep avoiding and transferring. That's fine.
But
Yeah.
we can.
I didn't want to bother Nessa with this. She's been dealing with enough in the last 5 months. And she doesn't know Skylar like we know her.
Yeah.
But we can discuss this more back on streamer when more people are back. In the meantime, does Grump want to serenade the viewers?
I gotta save my voice for next week.
Yeah.
But I do have to change all my freaking stats because I'm still level 4. I didn't realize that was gonna be a thing.
Yeah. Max 61 HP.
So I gotta bring this down
My
to.
animals. I wonder if I'm ever going to turn into an animal again.
The world may never know.
Well, at level 8, I start to get the max of CR1, so I'll be so terrifying in those animals. Compared to
Oh man,
what does
yeah,
the moon get up to? They can get up to 6 at level 20.
yeah, that is nuts.
Yep.
But your panther was awesome though.
Yep.
That was cool. And the horse,
Mm-hmm.
he wears the horse.
If combat goes on long enough, I can put the animals to good use, but most of the time it just goes through so quickly.
Yeah. What did I have? I had that. I think I had 10 of these.
I'm pretty excited about my bow, guys.
Yep.
I mean, if it was like a +1, it'd be a little nicer, but can't
Plus
win them
ones are
all.
super rare in
Yeah.
5e.
Yeah. Gives me a crit at 19 though, so that's
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 pretty
sick.
yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, that'll be handy.
But it's okay, you've already critted when you needed to. You don't
Yeah.
need to crit ever again.
Oh my
Never
gosh.
again. As long as I hit, never have to crit again.
Sorry, I was looking at something.
That's fine. I didn't realize. I was just changing my stats back to level 4.
Back to level 4?
Yeah.
Because he hasn't completed his long rest to level up yet.
Oh. Gotcha.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay. Alright, is everyone back?
Haven't heard from Yessa yet.
Yes.
Well, she's asleep in game anyway.
Oh yeah, but we don't.
I'm
hurt
kidding.
Yessa.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I wasn't serious.
Evil
Wow,
Alaric is
evil
bleeding
Alaric,
through
yeah.
the
Gosh.
life.
Now he's turning into evil Ryan.
I haven't done anything evil yet. Have I?
So
No.
for
I love
You were
the-
kind of salty to Skyla.
I love the yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't
Coming.
said evil yet.
so for the viewers who are curious, there's been enough out of character, out of game communication that there's maybe something going up with Alaric. None of us know in character, but out of character, we're all just waiting for the shoe to drop.
Yeah. I understand that I came off as salty towards Skylar. I did not mean to do that.
No, I know.
I really didn't.
Just in character, a little too much.
Yeah. But for real though, I was like, you're just like, oh, you sound sad. I'm like, I was like feeling sad the whole time.
Oh no!
I was just sad.
Are you sad?
Yeah, just like, I don't know, method or something.
No.
It's the music. That's what it is. You guys killed a dragon. No sadness.
It's
I
like
know.
we killed a dragon, but we're like walking around in like a frozen morgue. You know what I mean? Like it's just bodies everywhere.
Maybe it's like killing one of the bosses in Shadow of the Colossus. You're like, yeah, this is super epic, and then oh no, this is like actually super sad music, and we just killed this majestic creature, even though this one really tried to kill us.
Like in character, and at this point now, like there's not much difference in character and out of character, but like just like I just don't feel victorious at all. I just feel like we're in a freaking
Is the DM's winning?
yeah.
Got it. No, but it's true. Like you said, you guys did come here and you did essentially like win, but did you? I mean,
like they got away with a bunch of shit in that portal. I mean, I don't know.
And people
what
died.
That is. Lots of
Someone
people
from
died.
the Maelstrom Patrol died. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't get into the armory, so that's good.
but
Yeah.
what did they take?
I know. I really like once there's someone who's not about to die, who knows what's up. I want to know what happened with that, but I don't know. She takes a little bit longer breaks.
I think she takes the 5 minutes as like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
What?
all right. Well, we'll just go ahead and continue on for now, and come back from break, and then she can get caught up real quick.
Alright, so I will take the message down from the stream. And we're good.
Okay. So what we will do is, at this point in time, Alaric and Kaylee, you guys are probably about, I'm gonna say like an hour to an hour and a half behind Skyla.
Oh yeah.
But I'm in my favorite terrain.
And you move how fast? Twice as fast?
I think it's just like
Not slowed. Maybe.
it's not like difficult terrain.
Okay.
This is what I'm saying, Alaric. I can just tumble right after her.
Tumble along in the snow.
Like Link.
Kaylee has survival skills. Does Alaric have survival skills?
Nope.
Okay, so as you guys come down, you can clearly see where, even more recently than before, the front door to this area, the one that you guys came in through from the trials, has recently been opened. You fresh footprints in the frost that's kind of blowing underneath this door. Assuming roughly at a glance, just knowing what you know, that there are Skyla's footprints leading through the door.
Yep, looks like she did a pirouette here and jumped and kicked some snow over here. Looks like Skyla.
Yep.
Well, I mean, what are we to do? There's no way that we can keep up with her.
I can keep up with her.
Is that true?
I think it is, because my tumble, it negates difficult terrain. I can climb. Wait, it doesn't negate difficult terrain. Just kidding, but it still lets me move pretty fast.
Are you guys going through the door to follow her?
I'm trying to convince Alec to stay to let me go, because I'll be faster without him.
Do we have any sort of way for you to give a signal if you run into trouble?
I look at Mr. Bird.
I feel far more comfortable leaving Skylar out there than letting you go off on your own.
Excuse me? I am 75 years old.
You don't look a day over 73.
Thank you so much. That's so sweet.
I
Besides,
assume-
if I get into trouble, I will run away. I'm not gonna try to fight anything.
Alright, well... I mean, I believe you, like, that you're right. I won't be able to keep up with you, but I just don't want you to get too far out and lose your way.
I tell you what. I'll go as far as I can in an hour, and then I'll turn right back around. Because I can go farther in 2 hours without you than I can with you. So I'll be back in 2 hours, and if I'm not, I'm not going to try to be stealthy. I have a very clear path that you'll be able to follow.
Alright,
Does that sound good?
we'll do that, and I'll stay right here. And, I don't know if she can actually use this. Can I give her my amulet?
You could give her your amulet if you want. You know that there's just like inherently,
Would it not work?
amulet. It's basically you're using it as your focus to your deity.
So she wouldn't be able to use it at all?
No, it's
Okay,
it's not
never
a
mind.
magical item in that kind of sense.
Okay, never mind. Oh god, do I have anything that could be
Alright.
useful to you?
I'll be fine. 2 hours.
I give her my
My love. My hug.
My,
Please be careful.
Pack her a lunch.
I give her my climber's kit and a big hug.
Okay, but you have metal armor on. This is very cold. I'll be right back. Thank you, bro. I'll see you in a little bit. And then I tumble away, following Skylar's tracks as well as I can.
Okay, as you open up the door, swinging inward, it opens up directly to the outside of the monastery, to the covered bridge that you guys crossed when you first got here. And as the door closes behind you, looking back, you see Alaric sitting at the window staring at... No, I'm kidding. You see a...
So what I'm gonna do, actually, I'm gonna use my amulet.
Okay.
And actually, how long does this thing last? Well, I want to use it to call daylight so she can find her way back easier.
Okay, are you just gonna stand outside? There's literally no window.
Yeah, I'm
to
just gonna stand outside.
Okay, so you're standing outside. As the doors closes behind you, the handprint that is in the front of the doors, the seal that's there, closes, and she walks across the covered bridge. Kaylee, go ahead and give me a survival check.
Survival. Please be good. It's
Okay.
not that goddamn.
So as you come across the other side of the covered bridge, you can see fairly clearly some tracks in the snow. It's not, the freshest of tracks. They've kind of had some loose snow kind of blown into them, and they're starting to be obliterated a little bit, heading off into what is, the onsetting darkness at this point in time. As you begin following Skylar's tracks down the path back to where you guys came from, that will bring us back to Skyla. Skyla, you're in your favorite terrain. It's a lot easier for you to know where to go to find food, things of that nature. And this late in the year, there should be a lot more wildlife around than you're seeing right now. But again, as you were coming up, you kind of felt that it's a lot colder up here than it normally is this time of year. So the game has been a lot more sparse than you would expect it to be. If you could go ahead and give me either a nature or a survival check at advantage.
Alright. I'm better at this one. Yeah, don't even need it.
Okay, so At 25, about an hour into this, you don't even actually make it all the way down to the river. About an hour or so, you get a little bit a ways down from the monastery. You find a couple little frozen over streams here and there, and you spot a few tracks that are going around the mountain. As you begin going, you begin following them along, and you notice that there are a couple kind of scrub brushes that are tucked into small cracks and crevices, and these tracks are stopping at each of these and looking for food. You do find a couple of these scrub brushes actually probably would fit the bill a little bit more than some of the herbs that you found in the storage for your waxy substance.
Cool.
And just kind of like in your process of tracking, you come across a couple small plants here and there tucked away that might work for you. You begin following these tracks a little bit further on, and eventually you spot a very, very large kind of fat white bunny lopping along through the snow looking for food and foraging about.
Oh, why is it gotta be a bunny? Alright. Skyla's gonna wipe a little tear away. This is for the group. And she's gonna take her new bow. I gotta practice with this anyways.
Okay.
And she's gonna take a shot with that.
Okay. And at advantage because the rabbit hasn't spotted you, so...
Oh, I'm sorry, little bunny.
Okay. So
Oh,
as
so
How do you
you...
want to do this?
How do you
It's
want to
so
do this?
I don't know, clean and humanely.
I want to blow it up.
Okay. The rabbit kind of takes a couple hops. You pull back on the bow, feeling this beautiful draw. The arrow notches perfectly, and as it lets go, almost silently, due to the expert make of this bow, it lets loose and flies through the air, and the bunny is instantly dropped. You go over, you grab the game and place it in your bag. And did you want to keep going, or do you feel that's enough for now?
How many people are back there? At least.
Well, let's see. There's the 5 of you, 7, probably a good dozen or more, easily.
So I would want to find more.
Okay, so go ahead and give me another survival roll.
Okay.
And for how many of these rabbits are you looking for?
The whole family.
Not if they're, but
At least none of them will be sad.
so I have one. I would want to try to find at least 2, but preferably 3.
Okay, go ahead and give me at least another survival roll. Okay. So as you go around and you begin kind of foraging and tracking, over the course of about another hour, you come across another rabbit. You very easily take it and put it in the bag. You begin to look around and you start to kind of feel like maybe there's not going to be too much more, and then you come across something that has a little bit of a larger set of tracks. You recognize it as judging by the hooves and the way that it's moving up certain areas, it's actually a goat, a mountain goat, and it's a lot larger. You know that in the tribe, these are often sought after because it's very good meat. It feeds a lot of people, and the hides are used for a wide variety of clothing and decorations, things of that nature. You manage to track it down, and you spot it as it's going up the side of a cliff and about to go over the top. You notch an arrow, pull it back, and let loose. As the goat is about to climb up over the top, you take it cleanly in the side, it falls down, and you manage to very cleanly kill this goat, lands at the base of the hill, and knowing you can't carry it out like that, you begin to dress it. This is probably about 2 hours since you've left. At this point, Kaylee, you are tracking Skyla for the past hour or so. Her moving and tracking, moving at a little bit slower pace. You're trying to kind of just quickly catch up to her. You come across Skyla as she's dressing this goat.
Can I try to sneak up behind her?
That's so mean.
Yes, you can attempt to sneak up behind her. And that would be with
Perception?
a perception.
Come on. Damn it.
Kaylee, what are you doing out here?
Skyla, I could ask you the same exact damn thing.
I told you I needed to go hunting for everyone.
And we said you could go hunting in the morning.
Well, it's kind of morning now.
No, not even relatively.
Oh.
It's like just now getting very dark.
Oh. Well, I thought it was like other morning, like opposite morning.
Yeah, that's what you thought.
I
What did you get?
I got two bunnies.
Mm-hmm.
I got two of these plump little bunnies, and I got this huge mountain goat. But he's really heavy, so I have to get all the yucky parts out before I can take him back. But I'm almost done, and then we can go back.
Both of which are diurnal. You could have gotten these in the morning.
What's this guy?
It means they're really active in the evening, and they're really active in the early morning when we wanted you to go hunting. But now Alaric is up, and I'm up, and we're not going to get the kind of rest that we need, Skyla. We need to go.
This goat was about to go over the mountain. We wouldn't have caught him.
We're in a mountain range. There's more than one goat here.
You don't know that.
I'm pretty positive of that. I've read tons of books about where goats live.
Look.
Well, we need to get back. We need to get back,
back.
or Alaric is going to come and look for me right now.
Okay, well, let's go back. And since you're with me now, just walk where I walk, and we'll be fast, and we'll be back soon. And then we'll have yummy food to eat tomorrow.
I'm going to find food to eat tomorrow in the morning. Let's go.
It would have taken me all day. Okay, let's go. Let's take all day.
Okay, so you guys begin making your way back.
Skylar doesn't get lost
No.
in this area, FYI.
Alaric doesn't know that.
I know.
He's being a good friend.
I
It
know.
is
Hey, look,
dark.
what's that
precious.
light over there, Kaylee?
Huh?
What's
It's-
that light over there?
It is dark. Kaylee has dark vision, but Skyla does not.
Oh, yeah. That light is Alaric staying up to make sure that you're safe.
Oh, well, that's nice of him.
It's very nice of him, isn't it?
Super
He'll
precious.
get the best cut of the goat.
Let's
Alaric
keep moving.
starts turning his amulet on and off, flashing it to let you know that it's time to come home.
Morse code for home. H-O-M-E. H-O-M-E.
I'm just like
the dad.
honking the car horn.
Turning on and off the porch
You guys
light.
turn off the porch wall. Come inside.
For anyone watching, that's a 90s reference. See, what happened
Oh my gosh.
was, back in the day, yeah. So you guys spend some time, eventually probably getting to the point of having to use a light source of some kind. Unless one of you has a light spell, which I don't think either of you do.
No, but
I have a torch.
torches.
Yeah, so eventually one of you would have to burn a torch.
I got it.
I don't need it.
Hour, you make your way back. I think Skyla's still on there. You make your way back. As you guys are coming up Alaric, it's getting right around that 2-hour mark where you're starting to get impatient. I don't know if you've wanted to do anything before that since Kaylee left.
If I know that it's been around 2 hours, I send the Raven back to. I see if I can send the Raven back to let Alaric know that there's a Raven. I guess we didn't talk about what that is.
How did you want to do that? How?
I would say, Mr. Bird,
Carry this message.
return to the monastery. Go to Alaric.
And he kind of looks at you. And did you want to tell him anything?
Go. Nevermore. Go to Alaric. Nevermore.
I mean, did you want to give him a message or what?
Oh, I wouldn't know that I can give it a message. I would just say, go fly to Alaric.
Okay, so as you guys are getting to the 2-hour mark, you tell the Raven who is basically flying kind of along behind you to fly to Alaric at the monastery, and the bird immediately takes off.
That should. Oh god, Alaric doesn't know what that means. I wonder. Oh my, we need to hurry, Skyla. He might think that.
Oh gosh. Okay, let's go.
Double time.
Skylar just like Pew! Like runs off into a sprint. Okay, we're going.
Tumbles after her.
Okay. So as
We just stay on par with the birds.
I just see this air genasi running through the snow in this bar.
holding a torch.
Like, yeah, holding a torch, like, ah! This bar just tumbling
And
off.
they're carrying 2 bunnies and a goat.
I have the goat, like, slung on my shoulders. Ah!
I picture Kaylee,
Like,
like, doing
all
front
around.
flips and, like,
Just
one of those
parkouring through the
gymnastic
mountains.
things, like, swirling these bunnies around.
Yeah, holding a bunny in each hand. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So as you get closer to the 2-hour mark, you tell your bird. You look at it and you say, "Go to Alaric." It takes off flying. Alaric, you're waiting back at the monastery. The crow comes flying out of the darkness and perches on a bit of stone above the door. And it looks down and opens up its mouth. And as it does so, Kaylee's voice perfectly echoes out, "Go to Alaric at the monastery." And then the bird just sits there.
Ah!
Oh, well, that's freaking cryptic.
Yeah.
Alright. So. Alright, so.
I didn't know I could leave a message. I'm sorry.
So. I freak out, of course.
Of course.
I pull out my mace. I've got my amulet is shining right now. I just say, "Can you take me to her, to the crow, or raven?"
The raven just looks at you.
Take me to Kaylee.
It doesn't respond or react.
And then I just start running along the
Oh,
bridge
no.
into the snow.
Okay, so you begin running down the path. Probably about 15 to 20 minutes of this, you see a torchlight in the distance as Skyla and Kaylee are coming back loaded down with goat.
And bunnies.
And
As soon as I see Alaric, I just start waving. It's okay. I found her. It's okay.
Look! I brought you a goat!
He doesn't say anything.
Kayla is really smug with herself right now. Like, biggest smile ever. I got a goat and bunnies.
Yes, animals she could have easily caught in the morning. She got tonight.
It would have taken all day.
It
Skylar,
would not take it all day.
Yes.
thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for staying up and keeping watch for us.
Sure. Next time, please tell one of us before you run off, alright?
Well, I told Nessa I was going to the door.
That's not quite the same thing. I think you know that. Can you please tell one of us before you run off again?
Okay.
okay, so
I'll
you
try to
guys
remember.
basically begin heading back to the monastery. About this time, Marcus, who's snoring very loudly, rolls over. Orin gets up and heads over to Corin, nudges him awake for his watch, and fills him in on the situation of what's going on, and then goes to lay down. You two, for the next about 30 or so minutes, are going to be walking back. In the meantime, Corin, what did you want to do?
I will sigh heavily at the shenanigans afoot, but I will begin inspecting my shield.
Okay, so as you lay awake, taking watch, let me see here, Corin, and items. Corin got all the items.
Well, I mostly have all the animals, but yep.
That too. Corin and Corin stream. Okay, as you begin kind of looking at the shield and holding it, you notice that when you don the shield, that it's almost like it amplifies your senses just a little bit. The noises of the night kind of get a little bit louder to you, and you feel like you can pick up on things in the room a little bit clearer. You don't know what it is. It's kind of this. It's a little disconcerting at first, but it definitely feels like your senses are kind of like broadened when you're holding the shield. And let me go ahead and put that in. Oop. There we go. You should have that in your items now.
Alright, yep. Yes, I do.
Okay.
And I assume its AC and stuff is the same.
Yeah, it's all exactly the same, and it actually doesn't require attunement either. So,
Fancy.
but other than that, you spend some time, about 30 minutes or so, going over this. At this time, Alara, Kaylee, and Skylar are coming up to the front. Kaylee, you see the crow or raven sitting above the doorway.
Oh, thank you, friend.
Hey, did you? When you sent me a message, it said for you that you found Skylar, and that was all it said.
I sent you a message.
Yes, your raven told me in your voice.
My raven did what?
Yeah, he told me in your voice.
What?
You found Skylar, and to come to get me at the monastery.
I look at the raven. You can do that? You can say what I say?
It just kind of cocks its head and caws at you.
What the hell? I'm gonna have to sit down and figure this thing out.
Can we sit down inside and figure it out?
Yeah, Kaylee, I think since you're the one who put your hand on the door earlier, it might be best if you were the one to place it again. We might be able to bypass the trials.
Oh, we're still outside.
Yep.
Whoops. Okay. Yeah, let's try that. So I try to put my hand in the door again.
Okay, so you walk up to the door, you place your hand on it, and push it open, and enter the main entrance hallway that you guys had been in, where you fought the Mephits.
So we did bypass the thing.
Yep.
Yes.
You're a smart one, Alaric.
Yeah,
Let's go to bed.
yeah, that's good at that.
That's a really good idea.
Gotta doff for another 20 freaking minutes.
It's only 5.
Okay, so you go upstairs. Corin is taking watch and kind of examining his new shield at this point in time, just about finishing up. He's the only one that's awake when you three walk in.
Hey Corin, we had a little adventure. Here's what I'm thinking. When you finish your watch, go ahead and wake Niasa, and tell her to wake me, and then I'll wake up Alaric, and then he'll wake Skyla so that we can get a little bit of rest in.
The 24-hour long rest.
Basically.
So, I wake Nessa, she wakes you, you wake Alaric, he wakes...
Wait, why am I getting woken back up?
Because we're not getting a rest.
They're just sleeping in. Just
Okay. That's fine.
Skyla's already curled up on the floor, on the wolf pelt, kind of. Like,
Squishing
goat
Fluffy.
still draped on her, making sure she's not squishing Fluffy, and she's just already snoring it out.
Oh my gosh. The mouths are gonna smell so bad later.
Yeah. So how's that sound, everybody that's awake?
I'll wake you up when watch is done. Are you sure you don't need to rest? I can try and wake Marcus up again, though.
No, I mean, you wake Niasa up for her shift,
Right.
and then have her wake me up. I'll take a shift for Alaric and Skyla, and then Alaric will take a shift. You know what I'm saying? I'm basically, like, rolling over our long rest.
Yep.
We're sleeping in.
Yeah.
okay. So, time goes on. Is there anything specific you wanted to do, Corin?
Let's see. Are there any frosted over vents in the room that we're in?
Yeah, there's a frosted over vent that heats the room. It's a bit smaller than the other ones that you guys have seen.
Mm-hmm.
The frost isn't as kind of like, pronounced as some of the other vents, but there is one in there.
I will just very carefully produce flame away the frost.
Okay. So you go ahead and spend the rest of your watch basically doing that, melting it down. It looks like as the vent kind of recedes into the wall, it's graded off. You can't actually get too far in, but you get most of the surface frost away. At that, you roll over. Your watch is finished up. You go to wake Nessa up, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Okay, you and Nessa are both fully rested. You don't actually have to keep sleeping or taking, any more to do a long rest. You're free to do whatever you want.
Okay, well, if I'm fully rested, then I will stay up and keep her company.
Okay, so as you guys are doing that for the next few hours, Skyla, Alaric, and Kaylee would actually need to take, basically another 8. They're snoring away.
Alright, I would like to dress the animals then.
Okay, so you're gonna pull them off of Skyla?
I guess.
She's sleeping with them.
They're legit gonna start bloating in 10 minutes, so I'm going to.
She's already dressed the goat.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Oh, JK. Wait, so you're chilling with skinless animals?
Yeah.
I was tired.
I'm going to take them off her and press to digitate her.
Okay. So you go ahead and do that. Skyla, do you feel like she would wake you doing this?
No.
Okay. Alright. So you go ahead and remove all this stuff and, place it in the corner and then press to digitate the goop and stuff off of her. Did you guys want to do anything else?
Well, I would like to rebuild the fire a bit and start, stripping the meat, preparing it. Just killing time.
I will
roasting the
craft
meat.
the fire.
Woo!
Okay. You're gonna druid craft the fire to do what?
Just the last effect.
Small campfire.
Oh, okay. So you go ahead and basically make the fire kind of flare up a little bit again. Most of the smoke seems to roll out the door into kind of the hallway. But too much of a large fire, would probably not be good for this area at the very least.
Yep.
E.g. kill everyone.
Yeah. So you guys go ahead and do that, letting them sleep in. As the hours kind of roll on, they all get their rest, wake up at the end of your guys' long rest. Did you want to do anything, Alaric, Skylar, or Kaylee?
In my dreams? Or are we awake?
Please explain your dreams, sir.
Seriously.
How would you rate your dreams?
I think I figured out the ring, so I have nothing else to do. Oh, I look at the crow, raven, and I just say, I feel really bad for putting you back in the ring, so I'll kind of leave it up to you, buddy. Mr. Bird, if it's not painful or boring, would you go back into the ring?
Crow
once
just
for
looks at
yes, caught twice for no.
I think it's probably boring, so I'll leave you out. We'll just have you follow me around, that's fine.
Okay.
When Skyla wakes up, she immediately freaks out about where the goat went.
Shh! They're right here.
Where did it go?
Shh,
Where-
Skylar, shh! They're right here.
well,
Right here. It was a little disgusting.
Okay, well, what did you do? How did you prepare it?
With fire.
Okay, but did you cut it up too much or too small? Did you cut it in the right spots? Because this is really good meat.
Take a
of
look
all
for
kinds.
yourself. I've done this a few times myself.
This is okay, I guess. We're saving this leg right here for Alaric because he was really nice and stayed up late to make sure me and
What?
Katie got back. Okay?
Wait, what?
Huh?
Did something happen?
Oh yes, they went out on an adventure in the evening.
Well, I found the front
What?
door, and then I went out the front door, and then I found a bunny, and then another bunny, and then this really big goat. And then Kaylee found me, which was kind of weird. I don't know why she came all that way. And then we went back, and then she sent her weird bird back, and then Alec was shining this weird light, and he was waiting at the door for us in the cold. He must be freezing. And then we got back, and Alec was a little mad, but he was so nice to stay up late for us, so he's getting this leg.
Alright, I mean, I guess that makes sense, but 7/8 of what you just said is not what you told me when you left, but I mean, I kind of
I said I was going
assumed.
to check the door, and I checked the door, and then I went out the door.
Yeah, that last part after the "and" is not something you said. But that's fine. I mean, I assumed you left because there was animals here that needed working on. But anyway,
Kaylee, I'm so sorry. Kaylee, okay, you guys. Nessa.
what?
What did you do with the horns?
They're still there.
Okay, well, can I have them?
Yes, you can have them. I mean, you got them, right?
That's true, I did catch the horns. Skylar wants to try and fasten, like, a really, I would have to call it barbaric, like, instrument out of the horns.
Barbaric. Frightening and crude. In
She,
fact,
saw her dad just kind of,
offensive.
little and, like, oh, look at this cool little thing you can play with.
So you want to make something out of the horns?
Yeah.
Okay,
A
that's
little instrument.
like a musical instrument.
Yeah.
You're gonna make that one thing that you play. You're gonna make a sham.
Jed's horn. That's what I want to make.
Okay, you could probably spend some time doing that.
Okay. Skylar does that.
So, Alaric, I'm assuming at some point waking up, you're going to want to spend some time looking over your armor, not to mention the time that you spent wearing it, the 2 hours that you had just kind of like mulling it over. You kind of have an idea about it. You can tell it's a lot lighter than armor you're used to of its style. The style of it in general, like the way that it's made, is a little bit different than anything you've seen before. You can tell that it moves a lot better than something that provides this much protection normally does, and it seems fairly resilient for whatever reason. For how light it is, the armor seems a lot stronger than you would expect it to be. And then, Kaylee, if you wanted to look over your ring, you are more than welcome to.
Yeah, I'm gonna look over it. Learn whatever else I can about it. But I really just want to find out if it's a nuisance for the raven to be put back in the ring.
Okay, so as you guys finish up your long rest, I would say it's from the time that you called the raven out to about the time you wake up and are actually kind of looking around and kind of like glancing at the ring. The raven kind of lets out a caw and then fades from existence. Looking down at the ring, the simple silver band materializes back into the raven head.
Huh. I guess he needed to take a nap.
And I will I'll rewrite this because I'm changing some of the things to make it into a ring, basically. But I'm gonna go ahead and fix you up here. And
Okay.
So here's an info dump. Yours actually has the longest because it's got the most mechanics. Everyone else has like 1 or 2 lines.
Great. I love things with mechanics.
Yeah. So I'm sure you'll be able to figure out where the changes are. But
Yeah.
if you need anything clarified, let me know. There you go.
Thank you.
Okay. So, as you guys are finishing up, coming to an end of your rest, you guys have all kind of taken the night to relax and kind of think over the things that you've done. Alaric, as you're kind of waking up in the morning, you had trouble sleeping. Every time that you finally did kind of settle in, you were woken again by a little bit of a disturbing nightmare flashes. You felt this constant kind of pull into these deep, deep dreams of a life and travels that weren't quite your own. You begin hearing this language that you are familiar with, but you haven't really spoken much of. And you catch glimpses of people that you recognize, but you never met before in your life. And as you are having these dreams, you instinctually reach out and grasp your mace and pull it in closer to you.
Ooh.
Waking up in the morning, you don't
Bacon
really
smell.
feel too hungry.
Oh.
Anyone that kind of takes a look at you notices that your face is a little bit sunken in. You feel you have the bags under your eyes. You almost look like you've lost a little bit of weight on first glance. Maybe a few pounds, and you're rested. It hasn't affected you in a point, like to a point of exhaustion or anything like that, but you definitely do have a strained night's sleep.
Did any of us notice him grab the mace, maybe?
All of you sleep with your weapons close by.
Okay. Just thought I'd ask.
But we see that Alec looks. I mean, he still looks tired.
Yeah, I mean, he looks tired. He looks a little gaunt. He looks like he didn't sleep as well as you might expect. But at the same time, you guys were out in the middle of the night traipsing through the snow, and you did just fight a dragon. So
That's true. Hey, Alaric, you want some tea or something, buddy? You're looking kind of rough around the edges. Some
Alec,
bacon?
this goat leg is for you. This one right here.
You're muted.
I'm not sure what to say.
No, you're good.
This one, Alec. This one.
Thank you. I take the meat that Skylar's offering, and
Skylar stares at him till he takes a bite.
reluctantly I take a bite, but I try to make it look like I'm really excited about eating it.
Is it good? Do you like it? This is my favorite meal back home besides squirrel.
It's so much better than squirrel.
Have you tried squirrel? This is not better than squirrel.
Thank you, Skylar. It was worth the late night.
You're welcome.
How late were you all out?
I mean, we were out for a while, but we got a lot of
We
rest.
weren't out super late, but we were up early yesterday. Very early.
Should
And yes,
we-
I will have some tea. That'd be lovely.
Great.
as you guys are finishing up this conversation, you hear from the bed a little bit of a cough.
I immediately go to Tahichi with bacon.
Hey.
Actually, sitting up at this point, quietly, he had kind of risen up into a seated position and has been silently watching all of you for the past few minutes as you mill about the room.
Tahichi, how are you feeling?
And kind of this, very weak, but much stronger than you had heard him the day before. This very, very old, elderly-looking elf nods and smiles at Junessa, and in kind of that, again, frail-sounding voice, leans forward and says, "Much, much better today, thank you. I assume that these are the ones, these individuals are those that we owe our thanks to."
Yes, it's all over. It was a dragon. A white dragon.
Yes, I had the pleasure of meeting him once or twice.
That's right. But it's over now. And I offer him fruit and bacon.
He, gladly takes some of it. He asks for some water and things of that nature. As he does, he's very, very intently watching everyone in the group.
Skylar waves at him. Hi.
He smiles and waves back. And as he's watching each one of you, he kind of nods to each of you in turn and says, "If there's time, I think that we all have very much to talk about." And then he looks at Kaylee and he says, "And I think that I have something for you."
Okay.
How do you know Kaylee?
Well, I'm not sure, but I'm almost positive I knew her father.
Her papa? That
And-
must have been a long time ago, because Kaylee's like 75.
Well,
I'm a half elf.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
much, much older than 75. My dear.
How old are you?
All right, Skyla.
Skylar, you
Let's.
don't just ask people how old they are.
Why are you white?
Nessa, this is actually a little bit of a joke for you. There are plenty of people that talk constantly around the monastery. Dahichi is, as far as anyone knows, extreme. They only just know him as extremely old. No one knows exactly how old he is. There are rumors that he's been here as long as the monastery has been, although most say that's ridiculous because even elves don't live that long. No one actually knows Dahichi's real name. Dahichi's actually a title given to the person that runs this monastery, but no one actually knows his actual name. And it's just that he's just very, very old, is the ongoing saying, basically. So when she asks, it's you see Dahichi smile a little bit at it. He just shakes his head. But he says, kind of calmly, like, in time, I'd like to talk to each one of you, and again, my dear, especially to you. But I think that's what we're gonna call it for tonight.
Oh my god, if Skyla hadn't gone hunting, we might have actually gotten to talk to Dahichi. That was the best sound effect.
As you know, you're gonna like pull your collar while you do that. Ooh.
I totally pictured that exactly.
It's like the I Love Lucy face. Ooh.
But yes, you guys will be able to talk to Tahichi, and you guys have all gotten your gear, and I'm hoping that some of it was at least very good.
Nessa's gonna want to look at that staff.
They're very good rolls. Oh, that is right. That is the only thing that wasn't actually looked at.
Oh yeah.
She wants to carry around the weapons of her enemy victoriously, even though she did nothing in the fight.
You're there for moral support.
Yep.
You did like 25 damage though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
good.
before though.
Well, you
But you
almost
got it.
one-shotted that one dragon.
Well, if you hadn't been there, like you were the one that put the fake door up,
Yeah, I
and
know.
then we could like slaughter.
Who knows what would happen?
Also,
Someone can slaughter
Corin's
the
been
little
very quiet
dragons.
all night.
Yeah.
Corin's just eating goat right now.
Corn is your shield cursed.
She's just like, yes.
We'll get to it next time, but I'm just thinking about I would have produced good berries, and then depending on what Daiichi tells us, I may want to check to see if their growing room needs another application of plant growth. So I'm just thinking of stuff to do for next time.
Yes. Next time, I think there's a couple things that we'll probably wrap up with Tahichi story-wise here, and then we'll probably fast track the last few days of you guys in the monastery if you guys want to think about things to do. So you guys were dropped off. You spent about a day getting through the trials, and then another day getting through the monastery. So you have roughly about 8 days until the No Good Deed is supposed to be back to pick you guys up.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind. Things that you might want to do.
I forgot to try on the cuffs.
Oh.
While Skyla was out, I was thinking about like while she's going, she would try them on, but I like forgot as we were going because apparently I'm real life Skyla. So I forgot to mention that. And then I just looked through my items again and I was like, damn it!
Oh, the cuffs?
Yeah, the training cuffs.
The ones with the word on them?
There's a word on them?
Yeah, I say endure.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you want, you could try them on right now.
Yeah. Let's do
Right
it.
now.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Right here, right now.
So you put the 2 training cuffs on,
Yes.
and nothing happens?
Nothing happens?
No.
How anticlimactic.
What are those cuffs again, Skylar? I forgot.
She reads the word that's burned into the inside. Endure?
Close, but the E is
Scumbag.
silent.
Oh, endure.
There you go.
As you say endure, each cuff instantly becomes 50 pounds heavier as your hands
Oh my
slam down to the ground.
god!
Plot twist.
Hell!
Best day
What
ever.
happened?
That is where we'll end.
And
Yeah.
that's where we're gonna end.
I'm so
Yes.
glad I didn't do that out in the snow.
Skyla starts an avalanche.
Oh my gosh.
Your
So
your
Nessa
cuffs
did not
have now been updated.
Yeah, I see him.
Yeah, I just updated the description of them.
Jeez. Skyla takes them off and throws them off a cliff. No, not really, but they'll come in handy, you know, when we're like level 10 and I forget, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do this with these that we got 5 levels ago.
We could sort of use them as handcuffs, maybe?
Well, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. Like,
For very weak
cuff them
children.
onto something so that they
Very
can get
weak
away.
children, or like wizards, like casters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
They
Well,
can't-
you know, even if there's like something that flies that's
Did you
not too
say
big.
you're turning off the stream?
Well, yeah, do we want to say any goodbye messages? Follow us, like us on
So
Twitter.
long,
Bye.
farewell.
Yeah. Follow
Oh,
us.
goodbye to you.
Like us on Twitter. We hope you guys had fun. Like, you know, like as much fun as we're having, because this is a blast. We're gonna
This
keep
is
doing it.
too much fun.
You know, if you are watching us on YouTube, we really appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And you know, we hope someone out there is enjoying it. If not, we're just gonna keep doing it anyway. So
So,
you know,
We'll continue screaming into the
Sorry.
void, because
Take
that's
that.
fun for us.
yep. All right, everyone.
good night.
Love
you, guys.
Good night.
And
Is it
YouTubers.
Monday yet?
Oh.
Bye.